Family Day at Mosaic, and we have been looking forward to this one. The top team in the East, the Ticats, looking to bounce back after their 6-game win streak came to an end. And then there's a top team in the West, the Riders, riding high with that 7-1 record. Let the battle between the division leaders begin. Trevor Harris and the Roughriders are off to their best start since 2013, the last time they won the Grey Cup. And a couple of veteran QBs will be going at it today. The 39-year-old Harris, and on the other side, it is the 35-year-old Bo Levi Mitchell, who's putting together another MOP season. The CFL's leading passer has thrown for 300-plus yards in 4 straight games, looking to keep it going in Regina. And we have a doubleheader coming your way here on Saturday on TSN. Thanks for joining us. Props all around. Props all around. Oh, I'm going to slip my jacket. I'm going to slip my jacket. It's okay. We're good. We're good. Laura Dykin, Enoch Mwamba, David Sanchez, Milt Stiegel. We've got the Owls and the Lions still to come here on this doubleheader day, but let's get right into this one. Huge game on tap. So what are you keeping your eye on here in this one, Enoch?
This is a great one. This is a great matchup. I'm looking forward to it. A great offense with a great defense, and I'm looking to see what kind of defense is going to show up tonight, because we know how explosive this offense is. And with Kenny Lawler's somewhat quiet over the last few weeks, is he going to explode today?
Yeah, my matchup, but the key matchup for me is down the field, Tim White and Kenny Lawler against Mike Rose and Micah Johnson.
What?
I'll tell you why. Here's why. All of the big plays this year from Bo Levi Mitchell are him stepping up in the A and B gaps and getting the ball downfield. Okay. So many of those big plays. The key is to stop Bo from stepping up and hitting those big plays down the field.
That boy been watching some film. That's what I'm talking about. Well, you know what? I'm looking at the matchup of these two offenses. Let's be honest. We got the 2 MOP quarterbacks. We have 5 of the top 10 receivers as far as yards go in this game. Hamilton has 3. Saskatchewan has 2. So I'm predicting a high-scoring game.
How many points, Phil?
68 points, Jazz. The great Milstradamus has spoken again, baby. 68 points, high-scoring game. That's what the fans want to see, and that's what we're going to get.
Well, Hamilton looking to win 5 straight on the road for the first time since 1981. It has been a while. While for the Riders, they've only lost 1 game this entire season. That came at home. Remember that air quality game that was pushed against the Stamps from that Friday to the Saturday. Don't have to wait long now until this one gets going in Regina. Deb Kiowski of Springside, Saskatchewan. This is your chance to win big thanks to Save On Foods' $1 million touchdown to win. If a kickoff is returned for a touchdown, you could win groceries for a year. If 2 are returned, you could also win $1 million. Good luck to you, Deb, as we say hello now to Paul LaPolice and Rod Smith.
All right, thank you, Laura. Welcome to Mosaic Stadium in Regina. Great anticipation for this one. First place showdown. The leaders of the East, the 6-3 Hamilton Tiger Cats, up against the leaders of the entire CFL, the 7-1 Saskatchewan Roughriders. A lot of parallels, Paul LaPolice, in these games, including the 2 veteran quarterbacks that seem to be getting better with age. Let's start with the leading passer, Bo Levi Mitchell.
4 straight 300-yard passing games. 7 out of 9 games this season he's thrown for over 300 yards. 21 touchdowns. Only 3 interceptions. The Riders defense are going to have to stop him tonight. Trevor Harris leads the CFL in completion percentage. Not a big deal. He does that every year. But he's done 7 straight games over 70%. That is a CFL record. That's an amazing stat for this great quarterback. 2 great battles today for those guys.
There's Corey Mace, 2nd year as the head coach in Saskatchewan. And for Mace, 3-0 against the Ticats in his young head coaching career. Swept last year and won earlier in week 2 in Hamilton. And after that loss, Scott Milanovich's Ticats went on a roll. They won 6 straight games, a streak that finally ended a week ago with a home loss, a dramatic overtime defeat at the hands of the BC Lions. So they're at 6-3 on top of the Alouettes, who play later today at BC Place against the Lions. A capacity crowd here at Mosaic. a lot of excitement over the 7-1 Saskatchewan Roughriders. And there's Gray McRae, the returner with Mario Alford injured, missing his 3rd game. McRae awaiting the kick of Mark Leggio. Saskatchewan is coming off the bye. They won their last game 2 weeks ago in Montreal decisively. Underway. First meets first. In the CFL on TSN, it is McRae taking it at the 10, and he works it up across the 25. Dante Myers on that return. Back there with McRae. On comes Trevor Harris. Just a model of consistency. 11 straight games going back to last season, Lapo, with a completion percentage over 70.
And the ability is to process information quickly and understand what coverage he's facing, when it's blitz, when it's zone. He picks teams apart, and he stays on the field. And when he stays on the field and gets more opportunities, then he can take those extra shot plays in the course of the game. And that's why they're 2nd best in the CFL with explosive pass plays. So it's not all the short passes with Trevor.
They let the running back and takes the football on that carry, gets it up across the 30, but the 32 will let 3rd in the CFL in rushing yards coming into this week.
Jacob Brammer don't have a lot of international guards in the Canadian Football League, but this guy is a reason for it. Physical, great pass protector, shows great and helps this offensive line. Dante Myers, 2 explosive plays last week in Montreal. He's got 5 30+ in the past 3 games and 7 this year with 4 touchdowns. Look for him to get some shot plays on double moves tonight.
Gains 4
today. It's early.
Yeah, it is. He's getting started here in the 2nd down and 6. For Harris now looking to pass. Has time. Oh, nearly intercepted. In and out of the hands of Jonathan Moxey. Nearly had himself a pick against a quarterback who does not throw many. Right at the Rider 45. It falls to the turf. 3rd down. Saskatchewan grateful to be punting.
7 people showing up to blitz, drop everybody out, trying to confuse Trevor. A little bit of an undercut by Moxey, the field corner. Easy to find those inside breaking routes and undercut him. Moxey just didn't look it into his hands. Early Hamilton trying to disguise coverage from Trevor Harris.
And with the injury to Isaiah Wooden is the rookie Quavian White, number 23, back for the return. There he is. Also has a spot in the secondary for the Ticat defense. We'll talk about that in a moment. But here is White on his first CFL punt return at the 33. Goes right and loses the ball after he's got it out of bounds. So Boley by Mitchell to come on. Racking up, as Lapo said, 7 of 9 games this season, throwing for over 300 yards, including last week against the BC Lions.
And one of the biggest things I think defenses have to do, I said the last couple of weeks, everybody's worried about stopping the receivers. We're going to stop Kenny Lawler. Well, Keandre Smith had a great game. You know what? You better stop this guy because he throws to whatever receiver's uncovered. You better find a way to slow down his productivity, whether it's blitz him, great things. He's just seen so many pictures in his career, and he's having an outstanding year. You can see the TD interception. That's the best thing he's done this season.
3 receivers in the top 10. As he has time, he looks off to the right to his running back breakdown. It's out of the backfield. He has a catch. He easily has a first down across midfield, right around the Rider 50.
Quentin Barrow, big offensive tackle, 6'5", 317 athletic. He's going to allow Bo. He's got a tough task today with Shane Ray on his side of the field. Tim White. So many doubles, big plays for him. Last week, 84 yards on 5 catches. Had a great talk with him this week. The talented football player complements this great receiving corps.
First down, Ticats. Capacity crowd at Mosaic. Picks up now from the Saskatchewan 49. Little play action pass. And throwing it deep down to about the 10. Nobody there. The nearest receiver, and a late flag comes out. Was Kenny Lawler. There was contact with Nelson Lacombo. Late, that flag coming out, a couple of them. And this going against Saskatchewan as the Ticats offense is moving up the field.
I think this might be accidental pass interference. Their legs get caught up as they went through there.
Pass interference, Saskatchewan, number 26. Spot of the foul, automatic
Give
first
him the
down.
full pass. Yeah, right there you can see that he's denying his ability to run downfield. I want you to watch the pickup of the running back. Pressure on C.J. Revis. They bring him a lot. Excellent pickup. to start the game, making up. You got to make up all those pressures. You got to see where C.J. Revis is. Corey Mace loves to bring him off the perimeter. Bell does a great job making that stop.
So with the pass interference call, accidental down to the 25 of Saskatchewan. Hamilton handing off to Bell. Has some room up the middle. He's still going. And finally tackled inside the 10 by Roland Milligan. So the Ticat offense moving down in their opening possession. They've got a 1st and goal coming up.
I love old school football. This is a gap scheme. People coming. We're going to pull somebody around. We're going to block. And then we're going to find a crease up on the inside. You'll see the backside guard pull under center. This looks like 1984 football route. I love it. Power play. Good separation of the defense. Bell gets his shoulder square, knocks it through. O-line moving people off the ball to start the game.
Gain of 16, Lapo down to the 9. 1st and goal, Ticats. On the move to open things up in this showdown. To Bell again, and that time not much doing. Maybe a yard. Coming in on that stop is Malik Carney, the ex-Ticat, in his 2nd year with Saskatchewan.
Hey, Scoop Carney, we're going to talk about Scoop Carney today. Really interested football player, tied for 4th in the CFL with 4 sacks. I just mentioned him, C.J. Revis. I mean, this guy's got everything. Pass rush, he's got sacks, interceptions, knockdowns, fumble recoveries, tackle for loss. And Roland Milligan, last game, 64-yard interception return to the 3-yard line versus the Ticats was a key in their victory early in the year.
2nd down and goal, Hamilton. Down from the 8. Mitchell. He's going to look into the end zone. Running around, he'll take off inside the 5. He goes down around the 3. 3rd down coming up. Mitchell just could not find an open receiver as he chooses to pick up whatever he can. It's a 3rd down, though, coming up, and the field goal unit will come on for the Ticats.
A lot of motion on this play to try to see coverage. Nobody moving in motion. It's zone coverage. Everybody's saying, hey, we aren't going to give you a throw into the end zone. Let's hold you to 3 points. Good stop by this defense against the top. The red zone scoring of the Ticats are 1st in the CFL in scoring touchdowns in red zone. So really good stop by Corey Mace's defense there, playing zone in the end zone.
Be a 12-yard attempt for Mark Leggio. 3 for 5 last week against BC. Short distance, punches that through, and quickly the Ticats go down and pick up the 1st points of this ball game. Leggio is good. Trevor Harris is going to come on now. Been surgical so far, having one of his best seasons at age 39. Trevor Harris and the Riders. Down 3, CFL on TSN at Mosaic. Among the many intriguing storylines in this 1st place versus 1st place matchup, Lapo, these offenses and what they've done so far this year.
I love how they go about doing it. The Ticats, they do run the ball a little bit, but they are going to throw the football to get their plays. The Riders a little bit more balanced. They like to run the football and give Trevor a lot of 1st downs, a lot of short yardage situations, but 2 dynamic offenses.
And there have been changes to the Ticat secondary. We'll tell you about that in a moment. Here's A.J. Olette. Picks up a couple of yards. Casey Sales in there, as well as Kyler Fisher.
Julian Hauser, 8-year vet. He's trying to be a more vocal leader, help shape this top-ranked defense. Kyle Fisher at linebacker. He's going to get the start over Ray Wilborn to evaluate how Kyle Fisher is. He was a great special teams player. And Mac Bannatyne, 1st-year player out of University of Alberta, comes in for an injured Stavros Katsantonis.
So Jamal Peters out injured in the same game-time decision for Stavros Katsantonis. Their veteran safety. Bannatyne in. Harris looking down the middle. The throw back to Keyshawn Johnson. And being covered there by Walton, one of the new additions to the secondary. Johnson, one of the Riders' top receivers, has it for a 1st down to the Ticat 50.
You say that Walton, 1st-year player from Ole Miss, getting the start for Jamal Peters, as you said. Gets beat on the dig move on the inside. Trevor's going to take a hit by Hendricks. Mario Kendricks tied for 4th in the CFL with QB sacks. I love watching big number 90 come off the edge and in the interior of the defense.
So Harris went to work, has that big completion into the Ticat zone, and handing off Olette. Another carry for big 45. Julian Hauser Hauser in there to limit Ouellette to about a yard, maybe a little bit more. Some tough sledding inside there for the Riders.
And a lot of this defense, you can tell what they're trying to do. The last time these two teams play, A.J. Ouellette, 13 carries, 96 yards, and a 7.4-yard average. A lot of players around the line of scrimmage trying to stop the run early, make this team one-dimensional, force Trevor to throw the football. You can see Brent Munson, defense coordinator there, has done a spectacular job with his defense in year one.
Ouellette goes out wide to the left for Harris now on the second and long play. Harris looks right, and it's picked off. Intercepted, jumping in front of Keyshawn Johnson. On that play was Destin Talbert, who picks up his third interception of the season. We saw Harris nearly picked off on their previous possession. This time he is. Talbert right in front of Johnson and hangs on. Hamilton ball with a 3-0 lead.
Interception for Destin. Interception, second in the CFL with pass knockdowns. Watch this. There's 5 protectors. There's only 5 protectors. And watch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blockers, 6 rushers. You're trying to confuse quarterbacks. You got to confuse these veteran quarterbacks. He throws hot like it's a blitz. It's not blitz. Destin Talbert's there to make the interception. Great scheme, great execution by the Ticats D.
So Mitchell and the Ticat offense takes over from their 41, throwing it open. Big Giovanni Robinson, and goes up the sideline for more after the catch to get it in the Riders zone, down around the 42 Saskatchewan for the H-back, Robinson.
A big point of Bo Levi Mitchell's success this year is his ability to look downfield when everybody's covering the downfield. The 2 biggest gains of this football game have been checkdowns to their backs underneath. That's why this team is so good. When the shot plays are there, he's going to hit the shot plays downfield. But he is so much better now at taking the checkdowns when they show up playing within Coach Milavich's system.
10th catch of the season for Giovanni Robinson, swinging it out to Bell. Has some room inside the 35. A first down Hamilton on the move again, getting it down close to the Rider 30, but the 31 for Greg Bell.
Little screen pass on the perimeter. Try to just get it outside to give Bell an opportunity with a couple of linemen out in front of him. And when you're facing a team like Saskatchewan doesn't like playing a lot of man, this is going to be a good play for you. Get the ball in space to your tailback, let him find the crease and go.
Mitchell so far 3 for 3 for 56 yards. Short one there to Bell. But has been scoring position again with a 3-0 lead, looking for more. Handing off to Bell. And he goes right just to the left of the center and finds a good gap and another good run for Greg Bell. Down close to the Rider 15.
Well, you ran it once. This is what I love. Sometimes coaches don't like to go run the same play twice. Block back, pull somebody at the point of attack, hit it up inside, and do it under center. I love this. Once again, a second power play. You see that little crease is formed when you block down, and then you kick somebody out. Greg Bell sees it, gets his shoulders downhill. Big game.
And they mark it at the 19. And a 1st and 10. Whistle blowing before it's in play. Second meeting of the season between the Ticats and the Riders. Saskatchewan won in Hamilton back in week 2 by 5. Mitchell under pressure, running around, trying to escape and get rid of it. And a flag comes out with all that heat. Malik Carney in there on Bo Levi Mitchell, who just didn't have any time at all to set on that play.
You're going to have some. Malik Carney's got to get in there. There's a little bit of what you call twist game where guys move and try to get on opposite levels of the offensive lineman. Bo's got nowhere because there's a lot of players in coverage. Sooner or later, this protection will break down. Sort out what this penalty is. But that's what this defense does. They, the guys up front for this unit, Carney, Johnson, Rose, Shane Ray, a veteran unit. We talked about this week with Corey Mace why they're so good. he just talked about there's a lot of veterans in the group, and I've coached all of these guys for the most part except for Malik Carney. So these guys know what I want from a week-to-week basis. He trusts them so much, Rod. I thought it was interesting in our interviews with him when he talked about sometimes I'm going to let them make the twist call, and what that means, he says, I'll call a choice, which means they decide when they see the formation, they see where the back's aligned, they're going to decide what type of twist or run stunt they're going to do. So it's on them to make that call. Why? Because it's a veteran unit.
Yeah, the experience they have up front, Carney and Johnson and Rose and Shane Ray, who Corey Mason coached in Toronto before his comeback, but an experienced defensive line, a very solid one too, that gets a lot of trust from their head coach, of course, certainly knows his defensive line work.
Hamilton, number 64. That penalty's declined. Second down.
So Calderwood-Manzi, the center, called in the hold, but it was the left tackle, Brendan Bordner, as you saw in that replay, when Mitchell coughed it up, as he was in the grasp, and alertly Bordner was the one that caught the ball. So they're going to mark off the yardage now. Well, they've moved them back. It's at the 23-yard line now, and a second down for the Ticats with the penalty. Crowd making it tougher on Mitchell now. Takes the snap, empty backfield, and he completes that pass down inside the 15. That is Bell. He catches that one shy of a first down, still a few yards shy. Gets it down to about the 13. Mark Leggio to come on again.
So as we talked about before in the first drive, this is the second drive that started in the red zone from the 20-yard line in for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and another great stop. And Hamilton right now leads the CFL first, 75% touchdowns. Two great stops by the Rider defense.
Mark Leggio 1 for 1, had one from 12 just a moment ago. This to double the lead, make it 6. Leggio from 20 yards out and gets that one through too. And then watch for the kicking game all game lap. But we were down on the field, and that wind is swirling. Really tough for the kickers to get a gauge. Leggio's just fine right there on that 20-yarder. Hamilton leads Saskatchewan 6-0 first quarter. An emotional moment for Trevor Harris. His son TJ doing a good job handling those player intros.
Well, it's so important for is having family around you. A lot of these players, you know, they spend so much time at the facility. They don't get to spend time with their family. It's great that there's a family day today. So many players in our league also have family living at home in the U.S., so we welcome all of them to watching the game. Any family members watching their significant others from afar.
Here's TJ's dad going to work, handing off AJ Olatt. His third carry. Works it out over the 45. Olatt had a big game in Hamilton in week 2, busting off a 40-plus run for a touchdown in the first half in that 28-23 victory by the Roughriders. Gets it out across the 45. We got about a 2nd and 5 coming up.
Trying to get themselves in good management position. See Jamarcus Hardrick getting in there. Really good. Fisher, the first-year player. I'm looking forward to seeing Kyler Fisher. Fisher almost there on a little bit of a face mask. A great career at Iowa.
Starting a weak side linebacker for Ray Wilborn, getting a look at Fisher. And Harris swings it out there to Olatt. A little stiff arm. And good work. He got it across midfield. That's a first down for the Roughriders. Venturing into the Ticat zone.
Mac Bannatyne getting his first start. He's covering that player right there, A.J. Olatt. So watch him have to run downfield and chase him all the way across. Trevor recognizes it, but this is a difficult thing for any player, not just a rookie, to make that tackle in open space. That's why you try to have great backs, make you miss in space. A.J. does that as good as anybody else in the league, and Bannatyne put in a tough spot.
Right there beside Harris is Olatt again, faking to him. The quick throw and complete too. That's Keyshawn Johnson. Targeted again, he gets it down to the Ticat 40, and here come the Roughriders, another first down Saskatchewan.
Part of the run game working, that allows you to throw some of these, fake the run on the inside, have a throw on the perimeter. They love this double slant concept, clear people out, have a slant coming in. If the linebackers step up, he can throw it behind. Keyshawn Johnson, just a great hand-eye coordination, great hands. So fun to watch Keyshawn. And this is the guy they throw to. Tied for first. You know, this is the guy when he wants a first down, he's going to throw to Keyshawn Johnson. 20 second down conversions this season.
Extra lineman in on this first down and 10. Taking the run quickly again. Back to a similar play. This time it's Dante Myers with it. So faking to Ouellette, and then quickly on that slant to Myers. Another first down for the Riders.
Extra offensive line, tight ends and everything. You have everybody trying to stop the run, and then when you stomach the ball, you put yourself in one-on-one situations on the outside. Watch Trevor recognize it. No, I got this throw outside. Nice easy throw and an easy completion on the outside. The run game helping them move. The linebackers pushing them in position so Dante Myers can get behind them.
Approaching the 25, best drive so far for the Riders. Back to Ouellette. And they stiffen up inside there. Not much doing for big 45 Ouellette. It'll be a second and long coming up here for Saskatchewan.
You know, that's going to be the hard part for, Trevor's going to get his underneath, but can Hamilton consistently stop this run game all season? That was their mistake last time they played. So you can see the emphasis they're making on first downs. They have extra people at the line of scrimmage. When Saskatchewan puts a tight end in the game, they add extra defensive linemen. They are trying to match the personnel to stop the run.
Gain of 2, second and 8 inside the Hamilton 25. Riders trailing by 6. Quickly gets out as Harris does. Gets that one for Myers down close to the 20. Harris hardly had it in his hands before it was out of that right hand and off to Myers for the completion.
Once again, Hamilton showing their hand what they want to do. They don't want Trevor to have time to see coverage. So they are just bringing pressure, and Trevor has to throw it immediately. You can see the throw out there to Myers. Problem is it's second, and you got nothing on first down. So now when you're in 2nd and 10 and you blitz, you can give up that completion, make the tackle, and get them off the field. So 3 straight series of pressure by Brent Munson and their defense, trying to make sure Trevor doesn't have a lot of time to see the pictures.
Still a few yards shy of the first down, so Brett Lothar is in with Joe Couch to put it down. They're about the 28. Lothar in their last game was 4 for 5 in Montreal. And dealing with that breeze, Brett Lothar on that kick misses it to the right. Talking to him before the game how it is just swirling. You could really feel it down there, and he had a tough game against Hamilton back in week 2 and a tough start here as that one is missed. 1 point only on the board for Saskatchewan. 6-1. The Ticats leading with Bo Levi Mitchell set to come on again. A great matchup of veteran quarterbacks. The numbers bear that out as you look at the wins. You look at the 30-yard passes and where they rank, and touchdown to interception ratio, and 7-1 for Bo Levi Mitchell. Trevor Harris not far behind. With more, let's say hello to Britt Dort. Britt.
Well, thanks, Rod. Well, I know a lot of people were really looking forward to this game this week. Some people even saying, is this going to be a Grey Cup preview? And it's thanks in part to Bo Levi Mitchell and Trevor Harris, and them playing some of the best ball of their career. Trevor Harris, 39 years young. Bo Levi Mitchell, 35 years young. Now, I will say, quite the veterans out there. And the biggest thing about these two guys is that everybody's been talking, are they going to be the MOP candidates? Well, you know who Corey Mace thinks they're going to be Hall of Fame candidates. He said that this week. I have the highest respect for the two. I can see them in the Hall of Fame someday for sure. I tried asking Trevor Harris about the age thing about the two of them. He wouldn't really talk about it, but what he did say is that he really respects the way Bo Levi Mitchell has been able to reinvent himself so far in his career.
They seem ageless this season, Brett. Here's Bo, and throws that one a little bit high. Intended there for Brendan O'Leary. Orange falls incomplete. Second down coming up. And yeah, Mitchell, it's been like a renaissance season. It really started in the back half of last season.
The back half of last season, he was actually benched. Scott Milanovic said, hey, we're doing too many interceptions. You got to protect the ball better. He came back after an injury to get the opportunity, and then he's been so good with the football this season, have an understanding. And again, his ability to see checkdowns is like nothing I've seen from him early in his career.
Last play, first quarter, Mitchell. He just steps up and he slides and picks up a couple of yards there. So it's 2 and out for the Ticats, who will be punting to start quarter number 2.
And it's hard sometimes. You know, like Bo Levi Mitchell, one more point on that is he's been in so many situations in Calgary. Well, now he had to learn about a new system. Now he's doing a great job within the system in year 2.
2 field goals for the Cats, 1 missed field goal for the Riders. That's your scoring through the first 15. Hamilton leads it in this showdown of first place teams. The great Milford Damas expected more at this point in the game, but the defenses have been ruling so far, Lapo. 6-1, the Ticats leading as you look at the numbers through the first quarter.
I think for the Ticats, the last time Saskatchewan played the Ticats, they had 288 yards on first down, Rod. So holding in the first quarter only Saskatchewan to 48 yards on first down is right what they want to do for second and long situations. You see they're rallying up and making tackles, so Trevor is not in good down and distance situations. So hats off to the Ticats defense.
For the turnovers, the Ticats had the 1 pick by Destin Talbert. Nearly had it one before that from Jonathan Moxey. So, and offensively, Greg Bell for Hamilton, 70 yards total offense in that 1 quarter, 41 receiving and 29 running the football. This is part 1 of a doubleheader today. They're out in full force today in Pill Country and around here in Mosaic Stadium. But after this, it's the Alouettes against the BC Lions in Vancouver. Look at Bray McRae, the returner now for Saskatchewan, as mentioned, with the injury to Mario Alford a few weeks ago. Nick Constantino is on to punt it away for the first time in this 6-1 ball game to begin quarter number 2. In the swirling wind here at Mosaic Stadium, the left-footed Constantino sends out one a little bit shorter, and it bounces and takes a roll there to McRae, who works his way through. A bit of an opening for a second. A late flag comes out too on that tackle. A couple of flags on the field as Saskatchewan gets set to take over.
See where this block in the back looks to be a block, a late
During
block
the return, illegal block, Saskatchewan, number 24. It's 10-yard penalty, first down.
We call Mario Anderson on that. It was another rider, Aaron Patrick, late to get up and getting walked off the field on that punt return. So that pushes the Riders a little further back in the illegal block as the announcement came from Justin McInnes as they put it down inside their 20, down around their 18 for Trevor Harris and that offense to start.
Trevor Harris, the interesting thing about this when you look at their numbers and everything, Trevor has always been a short completion, stay on the football field. But this season, you know, the Riders have the most explosive plays, second most explosive plays in the Canadian Football League. So they're doing it not only with the short passes, but he's completing at a high level with some of these deep shots, the 30-plus plays downfield.
Was 5 for 7 and a pick in the first quarter. Over the middle, he was looking for his running back, A.J. Ouellette, out of the backfield there, up around the 45. It falls incomplete.
A little bit of screen and go, talking about those. You're trying to fake a screen here and then go deep. He's going to be the screen runner, and A.J. Ouellette's going to fake a screen and then go into the alley. Just missed it a little bit when you run it here, guys. So you see the screen. It's covered on the outside. You put the halfback in a bind. Just a little bit high on A.J. Ouellette for that throw. Good execution, trying to get that screen and go, but good job by the Ticats.
2nd and 10 from their 18. Here's Harris. Pump fake. They got him. Philip Osai has him and wraps him up. Takes him down. Osai with the sack for the Ticats on that 2nd down play. And that'll force Saskatchewan to punt it away deep in their zone.
Offside,
2nd sack.
Hamilton, number 46. 5-yard penalty. Will repeat 2nd down.
Spoke too soon. The penalties against the Cats.
Might be why. So Osai, I believe he lined up offsides. You can see here and gets a little bit of a jump start. Then goes and plays. Usually if you're in a jump situation, you know the penalty's there. Just go ahead and go play football. Make them stop play if possible. That's what you coach those guys to do.
He jumped early, so that negates the sack, and it moves Saskatchewan up 5 yards. 2nd and 5 now for the 23. Harris quickly to the right. Coming in again with another shot at a pick. was Jonathan Moxey. He had a great chance for an interception of Harris back in the first quarter, but as it stands, that breaks it up. And one play later, indeed, the Riders will be punting from deep in their zone.
Moxey understands the ball's going to come out because he's in a one-on-one. He's in a one-on-one because all 7 defenders blitzed. Watch Moxey at the top of the screen. He's just waiting. He sees the ball thrown. He can stand back there with his eyes watching the quarterback because he knows the ball has to come out quickly. Once again, the game plan for Hamilton, blitz Trevor Harris.
Joe couched a punt. Quavian White, the new returner for the Ticats, is back for it for the second time in this game. Chased him back to his 25. Flag is out. And around the 40 as he is pushed out of bounds, just shy of that. A penalty to sort out. Hamilton football, Jonathan Moxey. A couple of big plays to break things up. Chance at another pick for number 6. Hamilton football in a 6-1 lead.
Brian Cole right here on XMA, chasing down. Once you're behind him, you just got to make sure you don't want to do that. You got to turn, get in front of him. You can't block him in the back. Okay, knock him down here, especially when the referees see that player dropping down like that and him behind. You're going to get that call. So difficult penalty to back up the Ticats.
Back him up to their 15. 4th possession of this game. First 2 are field goals, and they punted. Greg Bell. Got a productive first half so far as he works his way up to around the 20 for second down and about 5 to go.
Trying to get a mixture of runs for Greg Bell early in this game and use a couple extra opportunities to create short yardage situations for both.
His second year with the Cats out of San Diego State, Greg Bell. Second down. Crowd gets louder for their friend Bo Levi Mitchell. Out of that shotgun. Steps out, spins around and gets free. Running again, and this time running for a first down as he slides before Jameer Thurman. So we've seen Mitchell forced to take off a few times, and that time it pays off.
He's used his legs so much more. Corey Mace mentioned in our interviews, like he looks more athletic this year. What's he doing? How is he at an older age going? I think he just have a great understanding as, hey, as the routes break down, I'm going to use my legs and take off. I'm not going to kind of wait for anything else to develop. Bunch of rushing yards this season and keeps on the field for first downs.
Third time he's rushed. Had 10 carries for 60 yards. 3 of them for over 10 yards coming into this game. So not afraid to run from time to time. Throwing here off to the right and coming back to the ball is Tim White. And no, they say he went out of bounds upon catching it. White, 5th leading receiver in yardage in the Canadian Football League. Most targeted receiver on the Ticats, and he leads the league in catches.
And you talk about that. There's 3 receivers out of the top 10 on the Ticats football team with Lawler, Tim White and Keandre Smith, who's the leading Canadian receiver in the Canadian Football League. So plenty of weapons for Bo Levi Mitchell to go to. This one's just a little bit far outside. Almost made it. For the 2nd and 10 here.
From the Hamilton 27 with the 5-point lead and bobbling that snap to the right and throwing it. And Jameer Thurman comes up with the ball. Did he catch that? No. Trapped it. Incomplete. Punting unit coming on.
Trying to get confusion. Yet German just does. He gets it on the ground. Didn't get his hands underneath it. He drops out from his linebacker spot in the line of scrimmage, showing a blitz look. He drops out. Bo Levi Mitchell can't see it. Throws it to Thurman just a little bit too low.
So once again, the Ticats will have to punt. Constantinu standing at about his 13. Ray McRae at the Rider 35. Second quarter. Low punt driving against that breeze. A good job against that wind for Constantinu. And a good return happening here from McRae up to about the Saskatchewan 53. Harris and the Rider offense coming on again. And we'll have more on Trevor Harris on Family Day here at Mosaic and the week he's had. Stick around.
What do you you guys think? Game day. What's going to happen?
We're going to make it rain.
Oh,
We're going to make it stormy.
We got to get after the Tiger Cats. We can't wait to see you guys out there.
Trevor Harris and two of his sons there, TJ and Trace. That was on CTV Morning Live. With more, let's go back to Brett.
Well, we've seen the Riders, a few of them have a crack at the weather for CTV Morning Live here in Regina a few times, but Trevor did tell us that's the first time he was able to bring his kids in. And he actually said afterward he had a moment to reflect because he thought back and he said, these are the moments I'm going to think about when I'm finished my football career, is my kids being able to be a part of things like this. And he also did give a nod to his mom, who apparently was a local weather person herself back in Ohio. And I will say, guys, I have to give a shout out to CTV Morning Live Regina. That's where I got started. I only lasted 1 week on weather, though. There's a reason I ended up in sports.
Oh, Brett, you saying the weather's harder to do? I can believe that. Deep shot, caught, and heading into the end zone for the touchdown. Making it rain there. In a different way to Dante Myers is Trevor Harris. Another touchdown toss for the 12th straight game going back to last season. Weatherman, quarterback, doesn't matter. They'll take it here on a nice day in Mosaic.
Well, obviously, sometimes when you got a pretty aggressive player on the outside who's making a lot of plays, you highlight these two players right here. Well, Jonathan Mox has been all over the place, almost got 2 interceptions. So what do? You double move him. You attack with him inside move, and then you go vertically up the field. He jumps the double move. So great game planning. Hey, watching what Moxie's doing. Moxie's driving all these underneath routes. You're going to drive with these underneath routes, almost throw picks. We're going to come back, max protect, throw a touchdown.
And that's touchdown number 14 of the season for Harris. Number 5 receiving for Dante Myers, and they're going for 2 now. A 7-6 lead, trying to go up a field goal here. As Harris stays on. To a left, 3-2-1. Did he break the plane? A.J. left, and 2 more for the Roughriders as he does barely get into the end zone on that running play.
We talked about this team last series. It's not just a quick throws. They try to run the football, and then they're going to lull you to sweep when they get a bunch of first downs with a shot play. Max protection. You can see all these extra blockers in, and it's a 3-person route with a double move. The double move's not there, but Moxie jumps it. Touchdown shot. And again, Myers gets his 8th 30-plus play of the season.
And one of the big play receivers we've seen in the CFL. He leads the way with the Riders in receiving yards and has that for his 5th touchdown. Harris family's loving that. The boys doing the weather show earlier in the week. Getting to celebrate Dad throwing a touchdown pass there for Corey Mace's Riders, and now a 3-point lead. Kickoff by Brett Lother. And it's Quavian.
A little bit of wind here.
Yeah, it is. I tell you. And it's confusing here because you'd see those flags going one way at one end zone, and the way it swirls, it looks like it's going the other way at the other end zone. And even there, look at the 2 uprights going in different directions. And so the ball is blown off the tee, so it is held now for Lother to get this one away. Quavian White standing at the 5. To the 15, 20. And White gets it up to the 30. So you've already seen the effects of the wind. And we just had Trevor Harris talking about the weather earlier this week. Here's what he had to say about that, by the way.
Oh, we got some wind. Can we get the people to order the wind to go down, please? Whoever is out there controlling that, wind lower. Throwing passes is a little bit tougher there.
A little bit harder to QB now.
What do you call for that? I don't know.
Got to make that call. I'll tell you what, it must have been a little bit calmer on that pass. He
didn't matter on that deep
probably
touchdown.
A bit of a breeze at his back. He said it's confusing at times the way it switches up. Worked out okay for Harris on that previous pass. Here's Bo Levi Mitchell. He checks that down and goes incomplete for the Ticats. Intended there for the fullback Complete second down.
Marcus Sales.
Illegal contact, Saskatchewan, number 8. It's 10-yard penalty, first down.
Right here, if you see Marcus Sales, he's waiting and driving the inside route. Makes contact early. So Marcus Sales has a little bit of depth. He's just watching the quarterback the whole time. Sees Kenny Lawler break inside. Just can't make that illegal contact. Bo scrambles away. Great recognition. Bo is about to throw it. Saw Sales driving it. That's why he scrambled and threw away.
Gets it up to the 40 and a first down for the Ticats now. Be a penalty for Mitchell. Handing off to Bell. And some success on the ground in the first quarter. Picks up 2 or 3 more yards there, up around the 43. And a second down coming up here for the Ticats.
And the Ticats are, being aggressive with trying to run the football. And I think back to a conversation. I was fortunate enough to be a guest coach with Scott Milanovic years ago. And he talked about, hey, if you want to get your quarterback in rhythm, you can't run the ball all day long. You have to make sure if you call enough pass plays so your quarterback can get in rhythm. So he's really trusting his veteran quarterback that I can run the ball on first down and still let him execute on second.
Got great strength in motion out of the backfield. It's thrown short and coming across Kenny Lawler. Getting him the football for a first down. A.J. Allen in on the tackle, but they'll move the sticks up across their 50.
And back in those days, he would talk about those were the days he was together with Ricky Ray. Just talk to, hey, listen, we've got to make sure these great quarterbacks, we throw the ball enough, and you got 2 great quarterbacks here. So you got to make sure that with only 2 downs, you get them opportunities. Best thing of that last drive, second and short. Easy throw underneath the wall or gets the first down.
Gets it to the 52 now. The Ticats trailing for the first time in this game after that touchdown pass to Dante Myers. Midway through the second quarter, it's a 9-6 Rider lead. Bo Levi Mitchell on the first down. Over the middle again. And he gets it to Giovanni Robinson, who gets up around midfield. Short pickup on the second catch of the afternoon for Big 84.
All right, the tight end, not the primary guy, so that's what happens. Okay, he's what you call the spacing route, the guy underneath when you can't find your other throws. Okay, Bo Levi Mitchell is scanning across. If you watch his eyes, you watch him, he looks left, doesn't like what he sees, finds his underneath check down to get the 5 yards, put him in manageable situation.
On the second and 5, off to the right, that's caught. Another first down as Bell takes it, gets the required yardage, and tiptoes out of bounds at about the Saskatchewan 47.
Coming out of the backfield, so on, the early check down on the last play allows them to be able to make this underneath check down once again with the back out of the backfield as he slides out. There's pressure. People are trying to run to him. He outflanks the defense. As soon as you outflank the defense, you teach your quarterback to throw the ball to the outflank throw. Nice check down on the 50 protection. Everybody releasing out of the backfield.
He's got 38 on the ground and 47 through the air, Greg Bell. And back carrying it, on the ground inside the 45. Picks up a few more yards, but still setting up another second and long here for Hamilton.
And one of the things I remember talking to Scott Milanovic when he came back to the league a couple years ago, he talked about, you got to run the football in the Canadian Football League because too many teams now are just playing everybody off in coverage. There's so much what you call 4-deep coverage, and guys are daring you to run the football. And that's why you see this Hamilton offense uses extra tight ends. They use Keaton Bruggeling as an H-back, fullback type, so they can get good numbers in their run game.
Mitchell, second and 7. Runs out of time, he is sacked. Caleb Sanders comes in and takes Mitchell down back at the 54. And a third down coming up here for Hamilton and pushing them out of field goal range.
Caleb Sanders is going to be right here. The center's going to try to slide. You have 3 people going in this direction, but Caleb Sanders beats Coulter Woodmansey. You can see Coulter Woodmansey ducks his head. Once you duck your head as an offensive lineman, they can throw you. Easy get in. And so, again, Bo couldn't throw to his first read. By the time he got to his second read, the tackle is made. So good execution of not only the front, but also the back coverage, forcing Bo to his next read.
Constantine at a punt from the Ticat zone. Flag comes out. That was before the snap of the football. We got a time count coming up here.
Time count violation. Hamilton, number 31. 5-yard penalty. It remains third down.
So Constantino's back inside his 40 now. And bear in mind, it's hard to nail down the actual direction of this breeze, which really gets gusting at times. But predominantly, the Ticats are against the wind right now for Constantino. Had a nice low one the last time he put it away. Two returners in Myers and McCray. And that one sends it off and out of bounds McCray's way. And a good punt against that wind to put the Riders in deep inside the 15. The sack by Caleb Sanders. Riders lead. That earlier touchdown pass by Trevor Harris was the 12th straight game going back to last year that he's done it. And that streak has him moving up a few names here you might recognize.
Yeah, Kent Dawson, I worked with him in 2007 here, in 2006 with the Toronto Argonauts. Kent was an outstanding football coach, now an offensive assistant at Auburn University in the SEC. But congratulations to Trevor Harris. That's an amazing stat.
2 more games he could match Austin's record with the Riders if he can have a touchdown pass in those games. But as for this one, they're leading by 3 as the ball again, and not much doing there on that catch by Tommy Neal in his first year with the Riders, the ex-Toronto Argonaut. Second down coming up.
As Trevor tries to pull the ball out on the perimeter, you see people working outside to go ahead and say, hey, we're going to make you, if you pull the ball and try to get the ball on the perimeter here, you're going to have to throw the ball quickly. We have players in zone watching. You throw the ball, and we're going to rally up, make the tackle. So nice tackle by Zamari Walton.
Who's getting the start. Boundary corners, we mentioned Lapo for the injured Jamal Peters. Zamari Walton in the CFL debut. Harris running out of time, scrambles out of it. Flag comes out. In the Rider backfield, and Harris is tackled as well back at the 10. And looks like a hold coming up here.
Usually when the quarterback breaks, the pocket starts running. The offensive linemen don't understand where he is. As the defender goes to chase him, they tend to hold.
Saskatchewan, number 66.
It's Jacob Brammer right here. If you watch Jacob, so he's engaged. He thinks the quarterback's inside him, so he's making his block. I think he was holding no matter whether it was a run or not. I think he can't be too high up on. You can see right there, he's too high. It doesn't allow, once he grabs into shoulder pad level right there, that's going to be.
If you're going to do it, may as well get your money's worth, right?
And Jamarcus Sim talked about, Jamarcus like, yeah, you got to do it a little bit quieter. You got to be a little bit lower when you do that. Keep your hands inside when you hold.
So White is back to receive this and making his CFL debut as well. Quavian White for the injured Isaiah Wooden. And Joe Couch to punt it from his end zone. With a breeze at his back and a nice punt too to chase him back to the 30. White to the 40, still on his feet. 45, 50. Not a bad return for Quavian White in his first CFL game. And a better place to start for Bo Levi Mitchell.
Huge catch for him, too. Huge catch.
Well, the hit HBO original docuseries is back with an unprecedented all-access look at the Buffalo Bills. Hard Knocks, now streaming. That is only on Crave.
Seen episode 1. It's very good. Very good football.
Josh Allen Company looking to take that next step again on that talented Buffalo Bills team. Hard Knocks, more on the inside of that. Ticats and Bo Levi Mitchell trailing by 3. Getting late in the first half now. Comes up under center. Stands back. And he makes the handoff. Rolling right and completes the pass too. And getting down close to the 50 of the Roughriders there is Keandre Smith. Another one in the top 10 in the CFL in receiving. One of those 3 with the Ticats.
Fake this way and then bring a player back across the field. Quarterback boots back that way. Trying to get the linebackers misdirection as he comes across. Easy throw. Looking at the outside throw, doesn't like it. The deep throw, take the underneath throw to Keandre Smith, the sure-handed receiver from Blake.
And again, standing under center, will get close. That's Greg Bell on the carry. Initially stopped shy of what would be a first down, but we'll see for the spot of the football. Might be a little bit shy here. Third down coming up.
You can talk about the crowd noise in Saskatchewan Roughriders may be affecting a little the things the Ticats do. This is the 5th time I've seen the Hamilton Tiger Cats ride under center with their quarterback, which you don't see a lot in the Canadian Football League. But when you get that close to the offensive lineman, you can bark out the cadence, especially on these short yardage situations. So I think that's why they're doing some under center stuff here.
Well, they got close, but not quite. About a foot shy. A third down coming up here for Hamilton. The 3-minute warning has been issued. A meeting of first-place teams. The Ticats led much of the way early on, but a touchdown for Dante Myers. Coming back. Riders with a 3-point lead late in the first half.
We're just digesting what's happening behind here. What did the banana say to the watermelon?
What did he say?
I don't know.
What did he say?
I should have thought of the end of the joke there. I'm sorry. It's a serious game here because we got 5 screens up here. Halftime. We'll get our stuff together before that.
The bathroom, Laura.
Tackle up.
Lauren, the panel coming up at halftime. Love the watermelon get-up, especially with the mask. It's a third down. Gamble here by the Ticats. They just needed inches to move the sticks and keep this drive going late in the first half. It appears they have enough.
Excellent use of your arts and crafts.
It is. Yeah, the modern day watermelon helmet's got to have a face mask, right?
Guy needs a shower after, I hope. A little bit of fumble snap here by Jake Dolagala. Amazing he was able to recover that, and that mass of bodies in there, but was able to recover.
Scott Milanovich, Bo Levi Mitchell working so well together this year. Mitchell leading the way in passing yards. They run it. Bell left side on that first down. He works it inside the Saskatchewan 45. The Ticats at the very least looking for an opportunity to tie this game before halftime. Still lots of time at 2:36 on the clock.
CJ Rivas still being involved. Last week he had 7 defensive tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1 pass knockdown. This week, blitzing him off the edge. He just came on that last run play, forced the tailback to bounce back inside. You know, Corey Mace loves the ability of CJ Rivas as a pass protector, as a pass rusher, and a run stopper.
The ball is at the Saskatchewan 44. It's a second down and 7 for Mitchell and the Ticats. Pressure coming. Malik Carney has him, and finishing it off is Micah Johnson. Big pressure coming up front from the Saskatchewan Roughriders. They get to Mitchell, and the Ticats are looking at a 3rd and long.
Protectors, watch it, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 rushers coming. Malik Carney's free. So I'm not sure what happened here, whether Bo didn't know he was going to be the free player. Usually 1 player is free when it's an empty protection, whether Bo thought it was coming from the other side or not. Malik Carney makes the play, coming off that free edge. A little bit of pressure from the Riders also defensively, trying to stop these high-powered offenses.
So the drive stalls. 2 minutes on the clock until halftime. Constantino at his 45. Watch this one away, and Ray McRae comes running in for it. Down to the 20. And up to about the 23 for Trevor Harris and the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
You see right here, the line's going to slide in the one direction, and the quarterback's supposed to know
Hamilton,
which
number
way.
32, 15-yard penalty, first down.
We have a no yards call. Bozo is shaken up. So I was saying, Rod, the line's going to slide in one direction. Bo's got to handle the last player, whether he wasn't on the same page which way the line was sliding or not. A little bit shaken up after that one, going back to the iPad to see what's happening.
More of a defensive struggle in this game of 2 high-powered offenses. Appear that Mitchell was hurt there as he's going over the tablet. Wait and see. Harris, another deep look to the right, and this time there is coverage there with Walton. Romastelli wants a flag, and the fans do too. You can hear him react. Walton one-on-one coverage there against Joe Romastelli down the rail to the right.
on the outside, looking for an inside. Can I get an inside play? We'll link these two players. Go ahead and watch those two guys go in. There's a little bit of contact here. We'll see if the challenge flag comes out here. They're going to take a look at a couple angles to see.
Some contact made there with Walton and Robustelli, and a challenge flag has been issued.
Saskatchewan is challenging the previous play for pass interference. The play will be reviewed.
Is there a pretty clear and obvious that they're impeding the receiver from his opportunity to get to the football?
Another one of those plays, too. When you look at it on a replay, it looks different than when you look at it at game speed sometimes.
And as you mentioned, game speed, the replay center will look at this, and they're not going to slow this down. They're going to try to watch as many angles from real time to make that decision, because they don't want to be. They know the game happens so fast. How can we watch at full speed and see if there is contact before the ball gets there?
Ball is at the 35. It's a big challenge here as the Riders with a 3-point lead and looking for more before halftime. 1:41 on the clock. The 7-1 Saskatchewan Roughriders off to a great start, leading the way in the West in the entire CFL. Their lone loss was to Calgary back in Week 6, when Robustelli had a career day, nearly 200 yards receiving with a new member of the Saskatchewan Roughrider receiving corps. Another look. This is PI.
You can see his right hand in there a little bit too. So we shall see what they say from Walton here. Stavros Konstantinos.
So the replay center has taken a look, and this is the decision announced by Justin McInnes.
After review by the replay center, with pass interference, Hamilton. The ball will be placed at the 42-yard line. Automatic first down.
So Zamari Walton, in his first CFL start in the boundary corner, does get flagged
46-yard line. 46-yard line.
for the pass interference, and it goes down to the 46 of the Ticats. Still plenty of time here for Harris and the Roughriders. 1:41 to go.
So good upstairs in the booth. The coaches upstairs are going to see those angles before any coaches downstairs, and they're going to relay down to Corey, hey, let's go ahead and throw a challenge flag here. We think this is going to be PI.
Harris hands off to Olette. Cuts it back right and finds some space. Good run here by A.J. Olette. Another first down. Working it down to about the 25 of Hamilton.
The game's about contain. If you want to contain the quarterback, you're going to leave an area for the back to wind it back to. Watch what happens here. Duncan Busby's coming across as he releases out. But when you go take Trevor Harris away, you're going to leave an open gap, an open area for the tailback. The front side was blocked correctly. Big jump outside for A.J. Olette. Big run. Got to make sure you do anything. Let Trevor Harris throw the football on the perimeter.
Back at the ground, and this time it's Mario Anderson with his first carry of this day. Another running back used by the Roughriders, working it down to the 25. That one starting at the 29, about a pickup of 4 yards. Second down coming up.
In field goal range, with there's a big wind right at their back now, so it really doesn't matter what they're executing from a play call perspective. They are already in field goal range because of the wind at their back. Mark Mueller, offensive coordinator.
Harris resets, so let back in as running back. Changing the play. Watching the play clock. Gets it away. The pass here to the end zone. Tommy Neal. Saskatchewan does indeed add to its lead before halftime. Second touchdown of the season as a Rider for Tommy Neal.
Trevor sees Tommy Neal in man-to-man coverage. They've got kind of a double move for him. Wheels up the sideline, gets behind the defense for the touchdown before the safety can come over there. And that's not an easy catch when you know there's a safety coming to give you a shot. Excellent catch by the, it had a great career, McMaster. It's a great signing for them to bring Tommy Neal into the building. Good veteran presence.
That's a point after three for Brett Lawler. So that caps off a 4-play, 75-yard drive in only 41 seconds. Still a minute 5 left here until halftime.
Okay. Take a look right here. He's going to start to run in and then wheel route. I think it was the number 3 receiver who ran a wheel route up on the sideline. Okay. Trevor recognizes it, but there's a lot of communication going on right here. We'll show this after break. They're trying to change the play as they see pictures. They're adding in a protector because they're worried about how many blitzes they've gotten. Then they hit the wheel route up the sideline. So a lot of communication going on for both offensively and defensively.
Just the 4th game as a rider for Tommy Neal, signing on this year. His first touchdown was 2 weeks ago in Montreal when he had a couple of catches for 39 yards, a 26-yard catch, and then that one TD number 2 for the ex-Toronto Argonaut, as you say. Lampo his 5th year coming out of McMaster.
Yeah, Trevor knew right away, I got max protection. We're going to add people into the box. After he changed the play himself, now I know I'm picked up. I can go find my double move football player, Tommy Neal.
Quavian White, Jonathan Moxey back for this kick by Lawler. The Saskatchewan's opened up a 10-point lead late in the first half. White takes it at the 5. That's Nelson Lacombo. Laid a hit on White. 1 minute on the clock. And a lot of field to cover for the Ticats if they want to add to their point total before heading to the dressing room. And Bo Levi Mitchell coming back on again, and Laura Dykin, Enoch Mwambo, Davis Sanchez, and Miltradamus himself. Milt Stiegel gets set to talk about this game and looking ahead, I'm sure, at part 2 of the doubleheader today when the Alouettes take on the Lions at BC Place. To the 29.
Much longer way to go for the Ticats here with 56 seconds left in the half. 2nd and 7 here, but with the wind in their face, they're going to really have to get in field goal range. They're going to have to put this ball inside the 40-yard.
You'd have to think, watching them warm up and appreciating just how strong it is down at field level. You'd have to think against this breeze. Scott Milanovich's Hamilton Tiger Cats coming off their first loss in 7 games last week in overtime against BC. He has time, and he completes it over midfield, too. Well, that'll pick up a lot of yardage in a hurry with a guy that's used to doing that. Kenny Lawler, their leading receiver, and a big first down into the Riders zone for Hamilton.
Hits a seam pass into the middle of the field. Riders kind of dropped out from a blitz look into a zone look. Kenny Lawler is a huge target. Bo found him immediately, recognized it wasn't blitz.
Gets rid of it. And now intended for Keandre Smith, the closest receiver there. It's incomplete.
He thought Keandre Smith might have been going deep. Down on the sideline. Keandre Smith was waiting on the sideline and stayed on the sideline. See that miscommunication there between those two.
Marcus Sales just beyond the outstretched hands for him. 2nd and 10. Saskatchewan 51. 21 seconds on the clock. Lots of energy from this crowd at Mosaic now. The Silla. Pressure coming. Mitchell quickly over the middle. Brandon O'Leary Orange inside the 45. Not enough for a first down. We got a 3rd down coming up. Down to furthest advancement at the 43. So about 2 yards shy at least.
I'd expect them to go for this because I think this is going to be too long into the wind for a field goal. 3rd and short. Try to get 2 more plays to get the field goal.
Clock ticking, 12 seconds. 3rd and 2. Mitchell loses the football. It does get recovered there by Quentin Barrow, but it's a turnover on downs. And just 4 seconds on the clock as the Riders will take over at the Hamilton 51.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defensive linemen playing zone behind it. That's hard for your offensive line. If you see they're all in one-on-one blocks, nobody can help anybody. So that's why you see Quentin Barrow get beat. He has no help. He has to go recover his own play. This defensive line's trying to pressure both, still making him hold the football because it's zone, but they're voiding certain areas of the field. Bo's not seeing some of those. Great rush by the defense of the Riders.
And it was Shane Ray, ex-Argonaut, his first year with Saskatchewan, and 4 sacks on the season coming into this game, forcing that fumble. And Brett Lawther, and remember, get the wind at his back. And this would be a 58-yard try with 4 seconds to go. So will the Riders be able to make Hamilton pay for that turnover?
Yeah, and it's unfortunately that's a loss of that many yards, or else this field goal would have not been needed to be done in any way, shape, or form.
59-yard attempt for Brett Lawther. It's accurate. For him, he had a miss from a much shorter distance the other way in the first quarter, and he's loving that, and so's the crowd. It's like 3 bonus points for the Riders after that turnover to increase their lead to 13 on a 59-yard field goal for Brett Lawther.
Defense steps up. You always talk about your defense making plays. Their ability to get the quarterback, fumble the ball, sack, puts 3 points on the board.
How's that feel?
And Lawther did have a struggle the last time these two played. He missed 3 field goals. He missed an extra point in the previous Hamilton-Saskatchewan game, so that's got to be a great feeling.
And Joe Couch trying to fire up this crowd. Got pretty loud at points here at Mosaic as a good way, a good note for the Riders to head into the dressing room, increasing their lead just before halftime. Dante Myers with the big catch for the touchdown, standing by with Brett.
Dante, you go out there, you score the first major of the football game. What did you see on the play?
Well, believing that Coach Mueller's plan, he called something I felt like will allow us to be explosive and get the job done and put some points on the board. Trevor threw a great ball. You know, it's my job to come down with the catch and make plays.
A big lead, but we know the wind has a mind of its own. What's going to be key to holding on to this one in the second half?
It's to be mindful of the elements. Don't let them control us, play our game, and stay with our foot on the gas. They're a great team, but we have a job to do, and that's to come out here and Ryderville and get the dub.
Thanks, Dante.
No problem.
Well, Laura, we'll send things off to you in the panel.
Yeah, it was a strong start for the best team in the East, jumping up to that 6-1 lead in the first quarter, but all best from the West after that 18-0. The Riders outscoring the Ticats there in that second quarter, as yes, we are at the half. Now, interesting because it was all about the offense coming into this one here, but we've only seen 2 touchdowns, both obviously scored by the Riders. And the first one we saw, we just heard from Dante Myers there. The offensive coordinator for the Riders, Mark Mueller, noticed a little something there.
I'm going to take a little walk back here.
Be careful, Chaz. Don't trip. Don't trip.
He's good.
I got these sweet feet. Don't worry about me. Jonathan Moxey's a veteran defensive back in this league. You didn't play 6 or 7 leagues, 6 or 7 years at a DB and not be a smart guy. But he's getting a little bit nosy here. He jumps a couple of routes early in this game. Obviously, he's playing off coverage. He jumps this one, almost picks it, PBU. Then now, to your point, up in the box, I'm sure the offensive coordinator is saying, Moxey's jumping off. There it goes again. Moxey jumps this one, almost picks it again. That's twice. Now, as a DB, he's going to the sideline. Okay, we're not going to see that. But as a DB, you got to know, when you jump 2 routes, the offensive coordinator, Mark Mueller's up there, is probably saying, look, let's hit him with a double move. You got to know it's coming. The next time they run a slant, I know for me, I'm not jumping it. I'm going to play it straight. I can't jump it. You know the offensive coordinator see it. You know Trevor's going to see it. And here it goes, boom, double move, and to the house. You got to know. And I'm sure Moxey's going to be kicking himself because he understands the mental part of this game. You can jump routes, you can make plays, but you got to know they're watching up in the booth. When you jump 2 routes, the next time they're coming after you to double move.
So that's a story when it comes to the Riders' offense. The defensive situation is kind of interesting, right? Because they give up the second fewest points in the league so far this season, 21.8. But when it comes to passing yards, over 306. And you got to think that Bo Levi Mitchell and the Ticats coming into this one licking their chops a little bit here, but a quiet first half for Bo. Why was that?
Quiet first half because the Saskatchewan Roughriders defense is playing in tandem. They're playing really well together. The front is matching the back end. And you see 4 sacks from the defensive line for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. But the DBs have done a great job of keeping Bo in check. He's sitting in the pocket, doesn't see what he likes. He tries to get out, sack. And then he lets go of the ball in the backfield. Then here again, he's looking left, right. Let me get rid of it. And again, another incompletion. But there's a lot of pressure up front. But all of it comes because the DBs, again, right here, patting the ball, sack. We call that a coverage sack. The DBs are doing a great job of stopping this great dynamic and explosive offense. And tonight, Bo Levi is struggling quite a bit to find his receivers.
Yeah, you talk about those DBs. They're playing some great ball. And Bo has been sacked 4 times. But at least 2 of those sacks are on Bo Levi Mitchell. You, being an experienced player as he is, you got to get rid of the ball. You can't be back there patting the ball. I don't care what type of offensive line you have. You have to eventually get rid of the ball, and he hadn't done that in the first half. But one thing they have done in the first half that they haven't been able to do all year long, been able to run the ball.
Yep.
Just think about it. Greg Bell came into this game averaging 47 yards rushing a game. He already has 50. He's been their offense so far. Not only he's not leading only in rushing, but also in receiving. And right there, great block. If you want to play in the Scott Milanovich offense as a running back, you have to be able to pick up blitz and linebackers, whatever it may be, and Greg Bell has done a great job. So they have to get back to this in the second half. They have an opportunity to win this game. It's also surprising that they haven't had any success on offense because they have been able to run the ball. So yes, Bo is struggling, but we know what type of player he can be, and they got to keep this guy going because Greg Bell, he's an exciting player. He hasn't shown much this year, but we know when he gets an open field with the ball in his hand, he can do some special things.
I was a little surprised to see that. Greg Bell's longest rush this season, 18 yards. And he's got one for 16 here. And again, this Riders defense, the rush D, best in the CFL. So the fact that he's got those yards there in the first half, a big thing for Hamilton, although they are down here at the half. All right, when we come back, this is, of course, the first game of our doubleheader. Game number 2, Caleb Evan timed for Montreal. We'll talk all about Montreal and BC when we come back.
Great anticipation for this one. First place showdown. The leaders of the East, the 6-3 Hamilton Tiger Cats, up against the leaders of the entire CFL, the Saskatchewan Roughriders. And it's picked off. Intercepted, jumping in front. Destin Talbert. Deep shot. And heading into the end zone for a touchdown. Runs out of time. He is sacked.
Well, the Lions have won the last 5 head-to-head meetings over Montreal. This is a good old offense versus defense. Number 1 net offense belongs to BC. Montreal has allowed the fewest yards per game so far this season. So that's coming up game number 2 of our doubleheader here to wrap up week number 11. Now, when it comes to the quarterback situation for Montreal, we've got, no Davis Alexander. He's on the 6-game IL. No McLeod Bethel-Thompson either, now on the 6-game IL. So it's Caleb Evans' time. This is his first start since July of last year. Milt, expectations. Expectations.
Don't lose the game. Don't lose the game. That's what I would say to Caleb Evans. Don't lose the game. Give us an opportunity. We got a pretty good defense. We can keep ourselves in the game. We may need you to make a big play here or there. You're very athletic. Use your legs. But don't try to win the game. That's not what we expect of you. You haven't shown you can do that, so go out there and put your team in a position to have an opportunity to win the game. And that's a possibility. Not many people are giving them a chance to win the game, but hey, this is professional football, and you never know what can happen.
Yeah, don't lose the game, but also, Bill, don't be a hero. Don't try and be a hero. Don't try and make plays that you don't normally do or typically do. So he's got an opportunity. When you got a defense like that, you got an opportunity. And you know what else as well? When you're coming into at this stage in the season and you don't have much film on you with this offense, it gives you a little bit of an advantage because there's no film that we've watched about you.
Man, they've seen enough of
We've watched film of him in Ottawa. They've watched film of him in other teams and everything. But this is a completely different offense, and they could switch a lot of things up. Especially in the last few weeks without Montreal because they haven't had any offense.
What are you laughing about?
He said they haven't seen film.
Not in Montreal.
I don't think Montreal, to your point about Montreal's defense, I think we all agree Montreal wins this game with their defense playing excellent. I don't think the defense has been was great last week. So they need to turn around, too.
Yep.
And just going back to the second half of this game, we talked a lot about the quarterbacks going into this game, veteran quarterbacks playing lights out. Two really good defensive coordinators pretty much shut them down in the first half. You take away the two double moves from Sask, they didn't do much on offense either. So let's give props to those two DCs, Corey Mace and my guy Hamilton. Help me out.
Munson.
That whole Saskatchewan D-line needs to take all the DBs out for dinner after this game.
The Riders going for the season sweep for a second straight year, but you know, you can't count out Bo and those Cats.
Halftime in Regina. Lapo, take a look at these numbers. I mean, fairly close. Just a couple of big shots by Trevor Harris. Big difference in this game.
Yeah, I think that the big shot for the touchdown, the double move is the difference. The interesting thing, we talked about the top 1 and 2 offenses coming into the Canadian Football League. I always thought, how do you stop these guys? What's going to have to happen? Both the Ticats and the Riders are trying to pressure the quarterback. And this is one of the things that is working for the Tiger Cats is Greg Bell, get some catches underneath. You heard Milt talked about it on the panel. Keep getting this guy the ball. A couple of underneath, a couple downhill runs for him. He's getting them in good situations. Anytime they're not in great situations, they're putting themselves in tough positions.
And here he is now with Brett.
Greg, the biggest message at the half to try to find the back of the end zone.
Just play Tiger Cat football and come out and execute and get it done.
The defense in Saskatchewan is known to stuff the run this season, but you're finding some success on the ground. How can you use that to your advantage in the second half?
Just keep following my O-line and being patient.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate it.
Greg Bell, 50 yards on the ground, 47 through the year, so nearly has 100 yards in productivity in that first half, but his team trailing by 13. And that final 3 must really irk Scott Milanovic when they turned it over on downs. Actually, a fumble by Bo Levi Mitchell when he was hit by Shane Ray. And the Riders decided to go for a 59-yard field goal that was hit there by Brett Lother to take a 10-point lead and turn it into 13. And so you consider the Ticats, what they will do. They had won the toss and deferred, and with the wind being what it is, but they're taking the wind here in the third quarter, Lapo, and the ball.
Is, the problem with doing that in the fourth quarter, every punt, every field goal, like every punt gets better. You're going to get better field position. Every field goal is better. But what you do get is in this third quarter, they've got to make hay. They should put points up on the board. With being down so much, this gives them an opportunity to have short fields. They just got to produce in this quarter.
Well, the second half is underway, and a short kickoff by Brett Lother against that wind, and Quavian White got it up to about the 40. Here's what Bo Levi Mitchell went through in the first half.
A lot of pressure, and this is what I was talking about. Like, he struggled with, there's a lot of zone blitzes going on. What does that mean? They're playing zone, so he can't find people to throw. He's holding the football, and the pressure's getting to him. There's a 1+, a true blitz play, but most of the time it's, hey, we're going to sit in zone, we're going to cover your receivers. By the time you look to your second, your third guy, we're going to get you down. Both sides, Sask and Hamilton's defense been pressuring the quarterback.
Starting the second half now in the 1st and 10, and a deep shot down the right and too far. Well covered, too, was Keandre Smith there, stride for stride. That's DeMarcus Fields, who was right with him.
Fields recognized kind of a wheel route up the sideline, just stays high and over the top of it, passing off that scissors route. You can see him showing what is called a scissors concept. So you have people going up and in. You can see that scissor wheel right up the sideline. Stays over the top of it. So DeAndre Smith can't hit the play.
So Mitchell's 10 for 15, 131 yards passing, no touchdowns, no picks. They got to the red zone twice, but ended up with field goals both times. That was back in the first quarter. Mitchell again with pressure coming, deep shot, right, intercepted. Devon Campbell jumped in front of the intended target there, Shamar Bridges, and the Ticats turn it over. And Mitchell does seem to be hurting on that play as well.
Extra guys at the line of scrimmage, continue to try to bring pressure. Okay, you see the center gets beat. You like sometimes having your linebackers on the center. I think you get good opportunities. I think Malik Carney was lined up over in that spot. That's a mismatch center on a defensive end to be able to go make the play. The ball's short. Campbell's there to make the play underneath it.
So Devon Campbell with the interception. And that's the second time the Ticats have turned it over. The last one late in the half was a turnover on downs, or the fumble, I should say, by Mitchell on the hit by Shane Ray on that 3rd down and long. Back to the CFL after several years in the NFL, Devon Campbell. And his 3rd interception was with Saskatchewan in 2016, then the Alouettes in 17 and 18.
This is the problem, when you turn the ball over, when you've got the wind, you want to make as much hay.
Hamilton is challenging the previous play for roughing the passer. The play will be reviewed.
Let's have a look again. As mentioned, it seemed like Mitchell was a little tender at the end of the first half with all the hits he was getting, and then this to start the second. They're challenging. Is this roughing the passer on the Ticats quarterback?
Malik Carney's right over the center. You put your defensive in there for a mismatch. You got Mike Rose on the perimeter. You got Micah Johnson in a wide position as Carney wins on the inside. Trying to say there was a blow to the head by one of those 3 defenders who showed up there. We'll see what the call is from the replay center.
After review by the replay center, the ruling on the field stands. Hamilton will be charged with timeout. 1st down, Saskatchewan.
All that pressure from the defensive front. You just saw that front 4 there. Micah Johnson has a sack. And so too does Mike Rose. There's big Micah. Little handstand there. And Shane Ray had one. And a lot of pressure from Caleb Sanders rotating in. That D-line has been making life miserable for Bo Levi Mitchell on this day. So, no, it is not a penalty. And so it's Saskatchewan football at their 40. And running is A.J. O'Latley. Picks up a couple of yards only. Set up a 2nd and short. It's Kyler Fisher getting the start at weak side linebacker for the Cats on that tackle.
Fisher does a good job breaking off as the guard's trying to get up to him. The guard and tackle, they're trying to work up to him. And he does a good job fighting off this and scraping over the top, pushing off, and getting A.J. as A.J. bounces it outside.
Trevor Harris, his first 9 passes, 5 for 9, 59 yards and a pick. Since he was 3 for 3 coming into the second half, 88 yards and 2 touchdowns. Throwing again here in a 2nd and 8. That is caught by Alette. Another touch for big 45. A.J. Alette, the 1st down, 2 up near midfield about the Rider 53.
I learned something this week from Trevor Harris, a term he likes to call twig. He always talks about it. It's like, take what is given to you. And that means, hey, if everybody plays off and drops everybody out, as this expansion just shows up in the zone, I'm taking the back underneath. Even though it's 2nd and 8, I'm going to get it. As everybody's expanded, the back should be able to get me in a 1st down. That's why he's been so good his career, taking the underneath throws, not forcing the defense.
From the 53 and a 1st down and back to Alette again. 3rd straight touch for him as he works it down to the Hamilton 50.
And what Saskatchewan should be doing right here in this series is they want to actually conserve time here. They want to run time off the clock. They want to let this clock go all the way down because when they're into the wind, they want to make sure that they take all the time off. Don't give Hamilton any opportunities with the wind at their back. So have a long touchdown drive here. Snap the ball with 5 seconds, 5, 4, 3. Eliminate the time for the Ticats with the wind.
7 more yards for Alette. 2nd and 3. Throwing, caught, 1st down, Keyshawn Johnson. Inside the 35, working it down close to the Ticat 50. Here come the Riders quickly to open up the second half, looking to build in that 13-point lead.
Trevor Harris is going to look over here to his right first and then flip his hips and comes back. So you can see with his eyes, I see somebody over to the right, but there's two people over there. He doesn't trust it. Watch how quickly he flips his hips and finds the next throw. Take what the defense is giving you. There's a twig call right there. Another good read by him. Not taking the one-on-one when it's covered by two people.
Harris off to the right. It is caught. Not much there, though. Tommy kneeled right down to the 30, and a flag is out right around the snap of the football at the 30.
This could be a high-low block here. This could happen. And again, when there's quick game passes, you can cut. The offensive lineman usually will cut defensive linemen to try to get their hands down. And there might be a high-low that happened here.
Neal doing a touchdown catch, his second of the season, earlier in this game in the first half.
So watch this. I think he's going to cut here, and as he goes
Chop
to cut,
block, Saskatchewan, number 66. It'll be 15 yards from the end of the play and second down.
Okay, Brammers can't cut him out of his legs as there's another offensive lineman engaged with him. Not allowed to do that chop block there. So that's going to draw the penalty. You try to do that to keep defenders' hands down. You want to, like, they put their hands down to protect themselves, and then the ball's thrown.
Second-year rider Jacob Bramer, and that's 15 back to the 45 of the Ticats now. A 13-point lead on the 2nd and 25 for Trevor Harris and the Roughriders. Sets up a screen to all left. There's lots of room ahead and tries to pull his way back. Doesn't get quite the penalty yardage back inside the 35. And so with that, we got a third down coming up. They worked it closer for a field goal try coming up here for Brett Lother, who the other way hit a 59-yarder at the end of the first half.
Patience is key on screens. You have one player out as a kick player, one player as an alley player. The running back's going to follow behind those two. AJ has good patience, get the yardage. It's a good safe call, put themselves in field goal range into the wind.
Against the wind, and this will be a 42-yard try. That's where Joe Couch will put it down. Lother did miss to the right in a 28-yard try, going the same way back in the first quarter. So 1 for 2 on the afternoon and looking to make it a 16-point lead. Gets that one up. Misses that one again, so missing twice going in that direction, and the Ticats do give up a point. So it's a mixed bag for Brett Lother on the day, as he's had a couple of misses, including that one again to the right, and made a 59-yarder. One more point on the board. 14-point difference. Tough being a Ticat fan in this sea of green and white at Mosaic, but there is one little message for Bo Levi Mitchell wanting to get his number 19 jersey signed, and Bo complies right there pregame. In hostile territory. Jersey goes up, Sharpie goes up, he's got himself an autographed jersey, and he's proudly wearing it among these Saskatchewan Roughrider fans. Bo Levi Mitchell, who there were rumors about him possibly going to the Riders after leaving Calgary, instead signing on with Hamilton a couple of years ago. So here he goes to work. They are down 20-6. Greg Bell back to him. Mentioned a productive first half on the ground and the air. We had close to 100 yards.
One of the reasons our league is so great is the access fans have to our players. And that's, you know, I think in my 20 years in the league, like, I just love the fact that the players are so good at trying to help in the community, live in the community. And Bo Levi's just been a model citizen for our teams throughout this league, and really been a great ambassador for the Canadian Football League.
Well, you certainly notice it here. That's been well documented over the years. A great crowd here at Mosaic Stadium to cheer on their first place Riders. 2nd and 6. Mitchell to the right. Deeper. And the closest to it, Devon Campbell, who had an interception the last time out off Mitchell. And that one he can't touch, but he was the closest, and it sails out of bounds. And it's a third down again coming up here for Hamilton.
He's going to run a deep comeback. But the problem is Devon Campbell's underneath that deep comeback, so it really forces you on the outside to throw it nice and high to a spot. Campbell's there to get a piece of it. Campbell's going to sink underneath that the whole time and force you to throw underneath.
Nick Constantino is the punter for the Ticats. Dre McRae, the lone returner, back standing at his 10. With the wind in his back for Constantino. Taken, bobbled, caught, no! Coughs it up! Ticats on the ball! What a break for Hamilton! As McRae twice couldn't find the handle and coughs it up. A big turnover here as they still wrestle for it, but it looks like the Ticats indeed have the football. A celebration there. Ronan Horrell, the rookie, at a UBC.
The wind can play some tricks on this football. Kind of bounces off its pad level. You want to try to keep it off your pads and catch it in a basket between your elbows, but it's off a little bit. Harrow and company are in there. Good timing, good hit. Great recovery. This is a huge play for the Ticats special teams.
Ronan Horrell, just drafted in 2025, inserted into the Hamilton lineup. Their last game against BC, similar situation. It had the big recovery on a bobbled punt return. He's done that twice. Here we go. Opportunity knocks. Hamilton Tiger Cats. Mitchell. He dumps it off. That's Keaton Brudling, and a flag comes down. Brudling, the ball carrier there after that catch on the short pass to get it inside the 10, pending the flag. And an injured rider down. Looks to be Malik Carney. A lot of discomfort there as he's getting some attention now. Quentin Barrow involved as well, and he looks a little worse for wear as well, as he initially got some help getting up, and he's down on again on the turf. Barrow and Carney.
Holding Hamilton, number 59. 10-yard penalty. Will repeat first down.
The penalty on Barrow.
So this was on Quentin Barrow as he went through. You see the right tackle right here. He ends up drawing the hold as Bo can't find his primary read. He basically pulls down Shane Ray as Bo scrambles and doesn't find his. And that's one of the things I think the reason the Saskatchewan Roughriders are having a lot of success, Rob, is because as Bo looks to the left, can't find anybody. It's a zone. I can't find any throws. By the time he flips his hips, he doesn't have anybody to throw to.
So still 2 players down. So it was a separate spot. Malik Carney and Quentin Barrow. We'll take a break.
One of my keys to this football game was the red zone and looking at the ranks of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, what they could do. First in the Canadian Football League in scoring touchdowns inside the 20. They're 0 for 2 right now, and in a long yardage situation on their 3rd trip inside the red zone, Rod.
So they were at the 12 after recovering the fumbled punt return, but penalized with the hold for the 22. Back in week 2, he had a pick 6 against Bo Levi Mitchell and the Ticats. Milligan with the interception to snuff out any chance for points for the Ticats with his 3rd interception of the season.
You got to know where Roland Milligan is. And when you try to force balls into Kenny Lawler, it's really not Milligan's play here. It's the play of the underneath linebackers, because as you see Allen and Thurman there, you've got to throw it over those linebackers. He's trying to throw it to a spot to Lawler, but it's just it's hard to throw between 2 defenders, so the ball ends up high. You see Thurman there, Allen there, so ball's high. You're trying to throw it to your big guy. It gets a little too high, maybe the wind takes it. Roland Milligan's there for the interception.
The Defensive Player of the Year in the Canadian Football League in 2024, Roland Milligan, with another interception. Mentioned 3rd of the season, 2nd one against the Cats this season. So Harris going to work with Robistelli, takes that one and manages to work to get about 7-8 yards. But it looked like initially he might not get anything, and spinning out, driving through, kept going, and now it's a 2nd and short for the Riders.
Mac Bannatyne running down to help get involved in this. This was an interesting play. There's Milligan. What do we got? Happy birthday, Roland Milligan. Happy birthday to Milligan.
What a way to celebrate.
Go with the bender. Go poison. Oh, poison? Try something else.
Second and short here.
His 31st birthday left. Second and short, A.J. Olette gets the first down and makes more. Tyler Fisher on him, but carries him for a couple of extra yards up across the 35.
Second and short, bring a couple extra people in to help on the edges. But then Roland Milligan, then A.J. Olette is able to wind it all the way back and put him in a good situation where everybody's covered. There's nobody on the perimeter of the defense as they brought people in, so A.J. Olette bounces it outside.
The ball nosing up to about the 36 of the Riders, in control right now. They have a 2-touchdown lead, and they have the football, getting the turnover after near disaster after that punt before and the return. That's Olette again, and they have him wrapped up. Destin Talbert in there, and so is Philip Osai.
And this is, Hamilton in the third quarter, they say, hey, we want the wind. And then the critical thing that can't happen to them, they have 2 turnovers when they've got the wind at their back, when they're supposed to get the best yardage when they have to punt, the best punt returns, and be able to throw the ball with the wind. So it'll be tough to overcome with the 2 turnovers in the third quarter.
Hard count Harris here, 2nd and 8 from the Saskatchewan 38. Resets, quickly throws to his right. Duncan Busby hit there and knocked down by Moxie, but Duncan Busby with his first catch of the afternoon. And Moxie is now slow to get up.
Trevor doing a little bit, calling plays at the line of scrimmage, recognizes Busby in that space in the defense. Moxie can see it, just cannot get there in time. He's running all the way down from his field corner position, but because Trevor sees it so quickly, it should be a catch and a hit like right here. You see Moxie heading off the field for a playoff.
They're starting to blitz now, right? So y'all just stay tight to the box. Let them bubble around y'all.
It's about a yard shy, and that catch by Duncan Busby. Short yardage, 3rd and 1. Tommy Stevens, the big short yardage QB, is in for the first time in this game. Stevens, not often denied and not denied there either, as he gets easily enough to move the sticks. Another first down for Saskatchewan as Harris makes his way back on.
Big advantage for Saskatchewan bringing Tommy Stevens in from Calgary. Short yardage last year was a difficult process for them on 3rd and 1 short yards. Get Tommy Stevens in the building. He's a veteran. He's done it for a number of years in his time in Calgary. Big physical football player. You don't want Trevor Harris to take those hits. It's been a good find in the offseason for GM Jeremy O'Day.
First down, quickly to the left. Inside the Ticat 50, that is Joe Robustelli with the catch. Keep moving down, Robustelli.
Watch how fast he makes this decision. He sees pre-snap that it's one-on-one situation. He sees everybody in the box to play the run. Just a token fake, and I'm going to throw it outside, let Robustelli run with it. His eyes are great in this game, seeing what the defense is given and the one-on-one matchups on the outside when they have run plays called.
Inside the Ticat 50 now. And quickly, Harris, a long pass, and it is caught. Just a couple of yards down the field. That's Keyshawn Johnson coming back to the football. 2-yard pickup and a 2nd and 8 coming up.
Throw on the outside, you see Hauser is trying to get there. It's a great catch by Keyshawn. Gain of 2.
One of the better 2-yard catches you might see. That's a pretty good snag.
Hauser could have picked it off, mate.
For a 2-yard highlight. Well, we've seen Hauser intercept passes before. Did last week. Here's Harris again. 2nd and 7. Doesn't do it often, but does it effectively there. Trevor Harris, who has in his long career had over 1,000 yards rushing, spanning over 13 seasons, but gets enough for the first down and inside the 40.
open a huge seam as he's climbing. He's still trying to find somebody to throw to. Then he sees everybody's locked onto receivers. So, all right, I can run for this first down myself. Not a lot of mistakes come from Trevor Harris. That's why this team's first in the CFL with the fewest giveaways. They don't turn the ball over offensively. And when you do that, you can win a lot of football games when your defense plays like the Riders do.
Lo and behold, he's 16 for 20 for 220 now, Trevor Harris. Throwing again. Johnson down to the 20. And another first down. And this Rider offense is really starting to click.
Run pictures, a lot of eye distractions, okay? And then send players in the middle of the field. So you have a lot of players running in and out, and then you send a guy on a slant. You see the linebackers biting up, playing the run play because all the eye distraction inside gives Trevor the throw underneath.
Well, came in at 70, just over 75% completion percentage. And he's over that now, 17 to 21. That 11 straight games of at least 70%, which is a Rider record. Back to Ouellette. They put it back in the ground, and he just keeps pushing down, trying to get to about the 15. On that first down play.
You can see Mark Mueller here is calling a game of, like, we're going to make sure we keep running the football. And when we keep running the football, that's going to give us those opportunities to fake this in the stomach, put the ball in the running back stomach, and throw this, get the linebackers bite up and throw right behind him. A.J. Ouellette, that's a 3-yard gain. A.J. falls forward all the way to make him the second and medium. Mark Mueller calling a good game and keeping the ball away from the Ticats when the Ticats have the wind. Real important.
From the Hamilton 16, first trip to the red zone. Saskatchewan, Joe Robustelli. And the third touchdown pass thrown by Trevor Harris today.
Hardest part of Trevor Harris is how many times, if he stays on the field, sooner or later he's going to know what the coverage is, and he's going to see the picture, and he's going to throw it. He looks right, flips his hips back left, sees Robustelli in the underneath part of the zone for the touchdown. He just stays on the field. He doesn't make mistakes. He keeps getting first downs, and he's going to strike either with a big play or going to find a hole in the zone.
And with a 20-point lead, offense stays out, and they will go for 2. Robustelli still on there after that touchdown reception for him. He's mentioned his biggest day of all about a month ago on this field against Calgary. Ouellette had one earlier, not this time though. A.J. Ouellette is stopped short. After an 11-play, 90-yard drive, they got the touchdown, but they don't get the 2 points after this time around as it remains a 20-point lead. Trying to make it 22. There it is again. Harris to Robustelli. Touchdown, Saskatchewan.
Trevor Harris on a couple of underneath throws early, get this drive going. A.J. Ouellette with a couple of bouncing outside runs to get this drive going. Stomach, throw the ball into the stomach and then push it downfield. Everybody plays coverage. I'm going to scramble myself. Get Keyshawn Johnson. And then seeing the hole in the defense to be able to make the play. Good drive, right? Mixing up what you're calling, left to right. Robustelli's in a good spot. Trevor finds him.
Robustelli, remarkable story we talked about before. Tusculum. But perseverance when he thought his football career was long over and encouraged by family to get back, give it another shot.
And Jeremy O'Day saw him at a free agent camp. Says, you got to go play some football. Get us some film we can see it. Robustelli tried out for the Team USA men's national flag football team. It was an interesting story. I heard it earlier this year.
Off the kickoff return. And so Ticats in a deeper hole now. That's why the return and the flag is out back where it was kicked away. The second career touchdown
Saskatchewan, number 91. It's a 5-yard penalty. We'll re-kick.
So an offside call in that kickoff formation for the Riders, so they will do it again. Mitchell heads off for special teams. Second half today, Bo Levi Mitchell 0 for 4. He's been intercepted twice, and just a different tale in the second half. Trevor Harris is 10 for 10, 106 yards, and a touchdown pass.
It's like right here. Way offsides right there, right outside the 35-yard line.
Bit of a head start there for Aaron Patrick on the special teams play. So this time Lother from the 25 to kick it away. Riders trying to improve to 8-1. Moxie back for the kick as well, and they've been perfect against Eastern teams. They've beaten all 4 Eastern teams coming into this. Trying to make it 5-0 against the East. Gets hung up in that breeze. Really see how it was as White gets it, and it's a few more yards, so worthwhile for Hamilton to have a good place to start now across the 45.
You won't be able to see this early on, but basically Trevor's looking this way, and as you see linebackers dropping this way, you have a little hitch, and then somebody coming behind that hitch. And he flips his hips quickly. He says, I don't like that picture. Watch him flip his hips and sees Robustelli behind the hitch, what I call a hitch bang, pulls the defender out, opens up Robustelli. Great vision by Trevor.
Bo Levi Mitchell in a 20-point hole, completes that pass. First one of the second half. And that's caught by Shamar Bridges, his first catch of this game. Gets it to the 52 of the Ticats, and a second and short coming up.
As the Javon Campbell goes up high. As Javon Campbell goes up high, you just take the throw on the outside. Everybody stays inside, throw outside, take the shot. Good location by Bo. As they continue to keep driving. They don't have many plays. It's the last plays with the win.
In shotgun on second down and short. And the throw. Last play in the corner. It is caught. Tim White first down inside the Rider 50. So something for the Ticats to start the fourth quarter. A little bit of momentum here. They need something. It's been the Roughriders taking over, especially here in the second half. And Mitchell taking a beating back there and slow to get up. They have work to do. Down 20 to start the fourth. Riders in charge by 20 heading into the fourth quarter here at Mosaic. You look at the numbers at this point, don't necessarily tell the tale of what the Rider defense has been doing to Bo Levi Mitchell in that Hamilton offense, Lapo.
We started this day saying, hey, we got the top 2 offenses in the Canadian Football League coming in. I think this is second-ranked defense in the CFL for the Riders. Had something to say about that. And, Bo's 12 of 20 right now. You saw 149 yards passing, 2 interceptions. They just have not been in the rhythm they normally are. They've been a great fourth quarter team. They've just got to be able to do that into the win, so that'll be interesting to see.
We had an interesting conversation with Corey Mace, an old D lineman himself in his Calgary Stampeder days, and coached the position as well, of course, about his veteran defensive line and the job that they've been doing. And there's rotation players too, Hava Baldonado and Caleb Sanders, but the others as well, putting a lot of heat on Levi Mitchell today. As he gets rid of that one, the heat was coming again on that first down play as it goes incomplete.
Your point is well taken on the defensive line having multiple players. There's 9 players on the roster, Rod, for defensive linemen. So they like to rotate, keep guys fresh, have a bunch of different guys rotating through. Great recognition of the screen pass right here. They run out, make a play on the screen pass. It's got to be thrown away. So they are dialed in this game and understand what's happening.
Well, we had a great chat with Corey, just about as you alluded to earlier. The trust he has in a veteran defensive line, and even letting them call the play. Sometimes having that kind of trust up front. You got movement there by Shane Ray. Just a free play here from Mitchell. Bumps into his man, and he gets on the run. And Mitchell gets little escort out of bounds and right around the first down marker, and what appeared to be a flag against Saskatchewan.
Yeah, it looked like Shane Ray jumped, and that's what your point. He talked about, I have a veteran unit, so sometimes I'm going to call it a choice, and I'm going to give the defensive linemen, they make the defensive line stunt, how they align based on what the coaches have told them this week. Hey, if you see the back aligned to your side,
Offside,
I want you...
Saskatchewan, number 5. Penalties declined. First down, Hamilton.
They're going to say, I want you to, if the back's aligned to your side, let's run a stunt over here. And he trusts his guys. You can see Shane Ray right here over the ball. Gets a little start and goes. You can see him trying to time up off the silent count by the center of Hamilton. And that's why you see a guy like Shane Ray as a defensive end lining up over the center, because they play multiple different fronts, multiple different pictures to confuse the offensive line.
From the 37 and a first down, Mitchell stepping out again and does get rid of it into the end zone, and that is too far, and he had a defensive lineman chasing him down. It's about a second shy from getting to Mitchell, got rid of the football, but it falls incomplete.
And it's not only just sacks, it's not only from a defensive line perspective, get the quarterback off his spot. See how long he's on his spot, he can't find anything. Now he's got to go start pointing to guys to be open. That's difficult to overcome. And then it's not always going to be the game's going to be a sacks. How can you make your quarterback uncomfortable? And obviously they have tonight so far.
Working against the wind in this fourth quarter of the Ticats. Second down and 10. It's caught. It's Bridges, and it's down to about the 25. So another first down. The drive continues here for Hamilton.
Jameer Thurman, you're going to see all come blitz also, so you have multiple players coming. Trying to do a little twist here, and then Bo gets hit at the end when he makes his completion. So a lot of pressure here from the Riders, dogging their middle linebacker.
Ticats need something here. First down. Deeper. Coming back to the football is Kenny Lawler. Incomplete. He argues his case, but no. With a second down coming up.
If I can give that to anybody, I give it to that guy, because the strength and power in his hands.
Ruling on the field is an incomplete pass.
Ball hits this ground here.
Well, he's been involved in a lot of plays, Lapo, this season where you'd think it would have to be the laws of nature incomplete, and somehow he manages to catch it. Not that time.
2 catches, 38 yards right now.
And a second and 10. Mitchell running out of time again. Up front, they come in and taking him down. It's the weak side linebacker coming in. A.J. Allen with the sack of Levi Mitchell. Another sack for that Rider defense.
A.J. Allen not only plays coverage very well, sometimes they like to bring him. Here's another sack. He's going to be coming in outside the screen in. Bell's going to have to come over. There's going to be a collision in the backfield, but Allen keeps coming. He tries to go low on the cut, doesn't make the cut. A.J. Allen's athletic enough to survive, spin off, and get Bo. Bo thought he would be protected for his count longer. Coverage is still there, forcing him to hold the ball. Then the pass rush gets there.
Mark Legge was on to attempt a 38-yarder, but bear in mind, this is against the wind. Been a factor, but not there. Beautiful kick there by Legge, 3 for 3. So it's points, their first points of the second half, but still they are down by 17. Another good work there by the Saskatchewan Roughriders defense. Fourth quarter, Riders lead. We want to give another shout out to Hamilton Tiger Cats general manager Ted Gavaya, who can't be at this game as he continues his cancer battle. You see the sticker, the guitar, a tribute by the team for Team Ted, thinking of Ted Gavaya, and wishing him the very best. And you look at Kenny Lawler there, one of the players that Ted Gabaya brought in this in his first year as a GM of the Cats.
Drew Olatarski, a number of players that came onto this roster from his time in Winnipeg. A very great personnel person in our league. We're thinking of you, Ted. Love you and hope you're doing well.
All of us thinking of you, Ted. Trevor Harris throws again, intended for Keyshawn Johnson, falls incomplete. A rare incompletion, especially in the second half for Trevor Harris, who had been perfect. He's 18 of 23 on that play, but under high completion percentage, that last play notwithstanding. Second down and 10, 26-9. Riders trying to improve to 8-1 on top of the Canadian Football League. That's complete. Another completion, another combination there of Harris and Keyshawn Johnson up around midfield and a first down.
His ability to check left. He starts looking to his left on this play. I know the throw is going to be over here as we've got it drawn up to the right-hand side. Yeah, but watch. He looks to his left, can't find anything left, comes all the way back and finds the throw underneath to Keyshawn Johnson. So I love how he progresses from the left to the right as fast as anybody else in the Canadian Football League.
Johnson is top receiver on the day, 86 yards receiving. How about A.J. Olette? Still running hard. He's had a good game. He gets it inside the Hamilton 45. It's 63 on the ground heading into that play.
And it's one thing for quarterbacks to be accurate. And here's a big point. You're accurate to the number one receiver. Can you be accurate to the third receiver in a progression? Can you stay in the pocket? Can you flip your hips and find the third guy on the pattern concept? He does that as well as anybody else. You can see this record for how many games with 70-plus completions, 11 straight. Now this will be 12. Just a phenomenal career. And like I said at the top of the show, he's got a deep ball throw. It's not all underneath checkdowns and screen passes. He will push the ball downfield, especially this season.
Well over 70% now if he keeps this up. Do it again, over 70, over 75%. Olette again. And he pushes and shoves his way, breaking the first contact and down inside the 40. As Riders, that big lead, keep pushing their way down the field.
They are going to keep extra linemen in. They're going to continue to hand the ball to A.J. They're going to try to run this clock as much as they can with this big lead and the wind at their back.
84 yards rushing for A.J. Olette to go along with 33 through the air for him. Came in with 564 yards rushing, third behind James Butler and Dedrick Mills. That one's incomplete. Intended for Johnson. Their receiving yardage leader coming into this game.
Takes a hit on this few errant throws. Zach Fry gets beat on the inside by Casey Sales.
It's actually the combination, two big play receivers of Riders have in Johnson and Dante Myers. Actually the same total leading the way for Saskatchewan at 565 coming in. Myers has 76 yards receiving and a touchdown, a 58-yarder, and Johnson now 6 catches, 86 yards, but a field goal try for Luther. Just rings that off the upright, this time kicking with the wind. So it's been a tough afternoon for Brett Luther with a 59-yard make at the end of the half.
Tricks on everybody.
But yeah, you could tell it is a tough one for the kickers with the wind swirling around as well here at Mosaic Stadium in Regina. For all the talk about the wind in Hamilton, which can be a big factor, the wind here at Mosaic, as you can see in a day like today, certainly can as well. Hard to figure out, Brett.
Definitely hard. And when I talked to Luther before the games, he just told me it's brutal out there. Specifically did point to the uprights near Pill Country, but we just saw it the other way. He also had that miss, but it also helped him before the half with that longest field goal of his career, Tuckalegio as well. And I asked him just how brutal is it out there? And he said, for me or for everyone. Now, guys, I know you can relate. It's also wreaking havoc on my hair out here today.
the safety coming in as that one went high. It sailed over.
We'll see if this is going to be a catch or not. It's really close whether
They're
it's a catch.
conferring now on whether or not he caught this ball.
It's getting more pressure on the inside. Trying to clean it up. The ball's a little high. I don't think this is going to come down as a catch.
Another look. The combo.
I don't think
not
they're
a
going to call
catch.
that a catch.
His hands around it.
After automatic review by the command center, it is an incomplete pass. It'll be second down.
He said command center. I'm just picking on anybody because I said command center one game like 3 times. Replay center, took a look at it, said it was incomplete.
Well, it's a transition in process.
Takes reps. Takes reps.
Well, I mean,
I'm a high rep guy, Rob.
It was the command center lambo for a while.
So a long time.
Old habits die hard, and it's replay center now.
But they don't really command anything. They just replay things. That's why
they're changing the name. Drop it to 30 now, second and 10. To that incomplete pass for Mitchell. Off to the right, that is caught by Bridges. He turns it up, and he has enough for a first down up across the 40.
Bridge on the outside. Easy throws. Now everybody's playing off on the underneath, giving you the underneath throws, forcing you to drive the length of the field.
Approaching the halfway mark of a fourth quarter in a game completely controlled by Saskatchewan. The work of their defense, 4-man rush. On the first down play, throws it off to his right again, completes that one to Greg Bell.
So the Saskatchewan Roughriders defensively, they give up a lot of yards. They're 8th in the Canadian Football League. So you see another throw here, underneath throw. Why? Because they're playing off on everybody else. 306 yards they give up a game, 8th in the CFL. But as Corey Mace told us, that's okay, because sooner or later, the offense will defeat themselves with a penalty, with a turnover, or a drop ball.
Gain of 5, second and 5. Quick over the middle and off the hands of Keandre Smith. Incomplete. Smith coming across, looking for the first down instead. We get a 3rd and 5 coming up for the Cats.
As he comes back to the middle of the field, there's pressure underneath. Bo's trying to get it real quickly. Keandre just doesn't see the ball quickly. Sees Allen right there. It's a little pass for him.
Well, it's 3rd and 5 with 3-down territory now, even with over 7 minutes to go in a 17-point game. That kind of afternoon for the Hamilton Tiger Cats offense. Just hard generating points, going against the wind. Here we go, 3rd down. Longer throw, caught, first down. So it pays off. It's Kenny Lawler with it. As Jamarcus Hardwick is out arguing that one.
Trying to be an official. So Lawler gets inside and then works away from Campbell, who's the low zone player. Campbell doesn't get enough depth. Bo puts it over the top of him. That's a great throw by Bo away from the high player. You can see right there, Milligan trying to get there and above Devon Campbell.
Just the 3rd catch for Lawler for 62 yards now. Drive continues. Mitchell flushed out. Throws. Coming back, no. Incomplete. Intended there for Tim White. They're at the 39 of Saskatchewan, but starting to run out of time.
These guys are in full pass rush mode. They like this type of game when they know it's throw, throw, throw. They can just get their 3-point stance and make it like a track meet getting to the quarterback.
So you have Lawler and Tim White both in the neighborhood.
Not really good when they're in the same spot.
Clustered together, those two star receivers for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. It's 2nd and 10. So it looks like they've decided to play some 3-down football here. Throwing. Oh, in and out of the hands of Kenny Lawler. A defender in front. And Lawler couldn't hang on, and nearly another pick there for Roland Milligan.
The Ticats got to get some throws downfield with the score is. So you see Bo, normally you'd probably check this down, but he's trying to throw over the top of Allen and underneath the combo of Milligan, I'm sorry. And that was the same play that happened earlier that was interception. Same throw, it was high, the one that Milligan got. They got to keep making some plays. That's why he's forcing some of these throws. It's a banana guy, Rob. It's another banana.
Bananas, melons, cheering on. 3rd down. is enough for the first down for Hamilton.
You can see what I mean about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This has been the game plan. 5 guys are going to force the offensive line to be in one-on-one situations, and they hope we're going to be able to win. They are going to avoid a zone area or two, but they expect to beat the Ticats O-line and with one of their one-on-ones from their defensive line.
No end. Hamilton. 5-yard penalty. Will repeat third down.
So the procedure call against the Cats when they had completed another third down play, 3rd and long for the first down instead, be 3rd and 15 this
So right here, there has to be one of these receivers has to be on the line of scrimmage. An offensive tackle cannot be the end man on the line of scrimmage. You have to have a block of 5 offensive linemen covered by an eligible receiver on the left and the right of the offensive line. The miscommunication there gets this crowd going.
3rd and 15. Ticats got to go. 5.5 minutes left. Down 17. Let's see Mitchell again. Pressure. Running around. Can't get it away. Another sack. Kind of fitting the way this game is gone with the pressure coming from the Saskatchewan Roughriders defense. Micah Johnson and company getting the job done, forcing a turnover on downs. Mitchell just didn't have time. Big Micah Johnson made sure of that.
It's pretty special I get to do this game, Rod, because in 2007, there were 12 Grey Cup babies born. If you look at all these babies in there with their prospective parents and everything, my daughter was one of them. There's Peyton Lapalisse. That was 18 years ago. All these 12 kids are going to college next week, Rod. How crazy. My daughter is going to Queen's University. Jeremy O'Day, his daughter. Alyssa was in that picture. She's going to U of R. We had Flick, McCullough, O'Day, Makowski, Val St. Germain, Schultz, Hughes, and Crandall. All that crew from that 2007 Grey Cup year. Pretty special.
That's amazing. Children of the 07 Grey Cup champion Saskatchewan Roughriders, including Peyton Lapalisse, a football coach in the making as well, I might add.
Football coach, too. Val St. Germain's son, Ashton St. Germain, is also going to Queens. So a bunch of kids going to Regina. I know the Makowski's child's going to Regina. So it's a pretty cool story of that year. And, Jeremy's done a really good job. I was very happy 2 years ago when Craig Reynolds made a change and said, I'm not changing my general manager.
Your daughter's off to college now.
How about that?
They grow up so fast, don't they, Coach?
Yes, they do.
2nd and 9 now, Riders. 26-9 they lead. 4.5 minutes on the clock. That's in behind and taken there by Tommy Neal. A couple of catches in this game, including one for his 2nd touchdown, and he does some good work taking that in behind the line of scrimmage to run for another Saskatchewan first down.
Throw the ball on the perimeter. These are attached RPOs, run-pass options. So if you don't like the picture on the run, or if you just like that they're not covering down Tommy Neal, I'd rather throw it out, let guys block on the perimeter. You can see A.J. Hillette going, am I going to get the ball or not? You flip it outside, right? Force defenses to cover all the receivers. When they cover all the receivers, they go deep and take shots.
The Riders hitting the halfway point of their regular season in this week 11. A good tackle behind the line of scrimmage by Deshaun Amos on A.J. Ouellette force a 2nd and long.
I wanna get drunk right now, now, now. I wanna get drunk right now, now, now. Everybody's showing up right now, now, now. Walked in like a mug right now, now, now.
So mentioning they make
Timer,
the turn.
Please reset the clock to 3 minutes, 39 seconds. 3 minutes, 39 seconds. We have a timeout, Hamilton.
And the Riders, as mentioned, looking to improve to 8-1 on top of the CFL. Their only loss to the Calgary Stampeders 5 weeks ago. Calgary having the bye this week, but interesting, Winnipeg beating Ottawa. Bombers get to 5-4. And with Hamilton, barring a big comeback in the final few minutes, facing 6-4 with the Alouettes coming up trying to match them again in top the East Division with Montreal taking on the Lions later today.
And I believe the Calgary Stampeders host these Roughriders.
Big one, yeah.
So this should be very interesting down the stretch. This is a very good showing once again by this defensive unit. You're going to win a lot of football games when you get takeaways just like this. This team didn't get as many takeaways early in the season. Last couple weeks, building it up.
Ticats trying to time up the blitz as Trevor Harris changes the call again. 5 left in the play clock here. The Hamilton 51. And the whistle blows.
Timeout, Saskatchewan.
Harris not liking what he saw, tried to switch things up, but just not enough time.
Trevor's trying to look at the defense. He's doing what's called a Kodak, where you take a picture of the defense and then you change the play at the line of scrimmage. You saw him calling plays left to right, but the Ticats are doing the same thing. You see the Ticat defenders trying to change. As Trevor makes his change, the Ticat starts signaling something. See Brent Munson there trying to make sure both sides of the ball are in the best play. They just ran out of time and had to use the timeout.
2nd and 10 after the timeout. Johnson getting it all the way down to the Hamilton 20. As the Riders are building this sense of inevitability now and controlling this game and pressing for more points.
Quarterback's got to be able to throw the ball when there's pressure in your face. He climbs the pocket because there's a miscommunication. As he's climbing the pocket, color shows in his face, but he still gets the ball and locates it versus pressure. That's the twist. He comes up, he sees, I think that's Verisek. Delivers a blow on Trevor, but he locates the ball to Johnson.
And he did come out, Lapo, so Jake Mayer has come in.
Take him out for a couple plays.
Mayer, the former Stampeders quarterback who had 1 start and a victory in their first one of the year against BC back in week 4. Mayer with experience, handing off to A.J. Ouellette there in that first down play. As the warning is given, 2:42 on the clock. This is the official 3-minute warning. Trevor Harris not happy to be taken out of this game, but his team, they're in control right now. Part 2 of the doubleheader coming up from BC Place in Vancouver. The Montreal Alouettes at 5-4. Assuming the Ticats go on to lose this game, they have a chance to tie them atop the East again. And BC coming off a big win in overtime in Hamilton last week. There's Trevor Harris, who's pulled from the game. A little upset at first, but then hugging it out with his head coach. And given the way this game has gone, you don't want to take a chance of getting your number 1 quarterback hurt.
Well, Hamilton's trying to get back in the game. You've seen him take a couple of hits. There's been some pressures. You're going to get pressures from Hamilton trying to get a stop. So it's very highly unlikely Hamilton comes back. Get your starter out.
Well, we saw Jake Mayer for a play. Now it's Tommy Stevens, 3rd in the depth. We're used to short yardage as he does what he does very well. Puts his head down and he runs.
Well, I think Tommy Stevens gives you an element. You can put him in and run. You increase a huge, like you just saw right there. There's a designed quarterback run, so now he can create so much more offense than Jake Mayer can when you're trying to run the ball and close this game out. So that's, I think, why Tommy Stevens will get this play at the end. That's a designed quarterback keeper after a fake on one direction. So that's what I think is in Mark Mueller, offense coordinator's mind. Because I'll tell you, Mark Mueller's done a really good job in his 2nd year as offense coordinator with this team. And Trevor Harris spoke so highly of him, and that, you know, I had a lot of experience in a lot of things. Mark Mueller was open to some of the things I've done before, as well as things Mark wanted to put in place.
Tommy Stevens, short yardage. He's used to that. He works it down about the 10. Looks like enough for, yes it is, another first down for Saskatchewan. You don't ever want your quarterback to take too many hits, but if ever there's a QB that looks like he can stand the hits, it's big Tommy Stevens.
Yeah, when you're that big, you can.
Look at that day for Trevor Harris, though. That day appears to be done, and a good day overall it was.
19 to 25, 76%, 260 yards, 3 TDs. Again, vision, seeing pictures, getting the ball out of his hand quickly, and keeping his offense on the field. That's one thing he always talks about. Our defense has got to be fresh because I got to keep them. I got to keep keep this high-powered Ticats offense. You saw talk about this week. I wanted to keep Bo Levi Mitchell and this high-powered offense off the field. So I got to keep my first downs, keep making plays. Started a little tough for him. The Ticats got him on a couple blitzes and a couple pictures, but settled down and made his plays.
Those burns for Trevor Harris on the field turf and getting attention. Open wounds there, but for Tommy Stevens, chance to get some action that isn't just short yardage, although they are working their way down awfully close to that. Inside the 10. Looking to put a bow on this game for another Rider victory. The Hamilton 7, a 2nd and 7. Caught by Keyshawn Johnson and taken down.
Nice tackle by Talbot there. This difficult tackle out in space. Trying to show a heavy run look. Talbot's out there to make the tackle.
You mentioned the big showdown for the Riders next week against the only team that has beaten them this season, the Calgary Stampeders. That's at McMahon next week.
And Trevor played great the first time they played.
You know what? It was his
amazing
best
game.
It was his best passing day.
That's right.
425. It was their worst rushing day for A.J. Ouellette by far. And that was the one that was delayed because of the air quality by a day with the Stampeders coming up with that win. Lothar, field goal attempt. A tough one for Brett Lothar, but gets that one through. 3 more on the board, 29-9. The 20-point lead is restored. As mentioned too, Lapo, regarding these two teams, not the Ticats who are the bye next week, but Calgary and Saskatchewan, a big difference how the Riders have done against the East. They're about to go 5-0 against the East, and Calgary's 3 losses, 2 have been to the Ottawa Redblacks and 1 to the Montreal Alouettes.
Well, they got the Calgary's. I'm sure Calgary's looking forward to having the bye week, be able to watch all this film, get prepared, be ready to take on this tops in the West game.
Tough day. Bo Levi Mitchell and Hamilton right across the board after a couple appearances in the red zone in the first quarter and couldn't cash in with touchdowns. But next year, the Riders announcing that a preseason game will be played in Saskatoon Griffith Stadium. You got to go back a ways. 1991, the last time that the Riders had a preseason game. They usually have their camp up in Saskatoon.
Always, when I worked here, we would spend we practiced down here, but spend 1 day in Saskatoon for a practice, and the whole town came out. So we went to the Huskies Stadium and used their facilities. And it's really good to see the people who come from across the province.
They certainly have a loyal fan base in Regina. Out of bounds on the return is White, but they're the Saskatchewan Roughriders for a reason. That there's so much support outside Regina as well, including from Saskatoon. And we always at the hotel, you run into fans. They're at the hotel because they've come from different parts of certainly the province, even Manitoba or Alberta.
I met some individuals came from Manitoba. They drive in, they come to a game, and they say, we come every year. We come all the way out, and obviously people from Saskatoon. This is probably the most travel happens in this province for home games. As soon as I got off the airport, Rod, hey, Coach, how are you? Some guy I was waiting for my Uber. So they're passionate football fans. And you want to coach in a community that cares about football.
Taylor Powell is in at quarterback. Bo Levi Mitchell's day is done. And the handoff was to Kevin Brown, recently added former Edmonton Elk, and then started the season with the Toronto Argonauts before being released and signed on with the Ticats. But
my first experience with the Riders in 2007 as an assistant coach. Made their home playoff game. It was the first home playoff game in 20 years. And I can remember the season ticket holders outside at 5 a.m. lined up. I'm going to the office to work. They're lined up trying to get the season tickets for the first playoff game in 20 years.
Well, it was a sellout today, family day, and fans not disappointed by what they have seen from the team that sits atop the Canadian Football League standings. Trevor Harris and the Saskatchewan Roughriders with just 26 seconds to go and a comfortable 20-point lead, looking for another season sweep of the Hamilton Tiger Cats. As mentioned, they've beaten every team, and now the Ticats twice this season in the East Division. Saskatchewan has. Taylor Powell, Kevin Brown, to give him some a new addition in the backfield. Brown, a couple of reps with his new team, and Taylor Powell, who had been a starter for much with all the quarterback injuries 2 years ago when Mitchell was hurt, Matthew Schultz later. Powell started a lot of games for the Ticats as a rookie, and initially, or for a brief time, was named a starter when Scott Milanovich was frustrated with the play of Bo Levi Mitchell, and Mitchell got his job back after Powell got hurt last season, and then really just a different quarterback was thrown out of bounds by Powell. Right into the Rider bench. Last play of the game. Zeros on the clock. Family Day celebration at Mosaic Stadium for Trevor Harris and his kids, his family, enjoying that and his football family in Saskatchewan. Loving what they've done in the first half of the season. They got a lot of football left to go, but let the record show that halfway through 2025, the #1 team in the Canadian Football League are the 8-1 Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Got to be real pleased defensively. The Saskatchewan Roughriders holding Bo Levi Mitchell a 50% completion, 200 passing yards for a team that, they tried to run the ball early on, but the Riders defense was able to make Bo Levi Mitchell uncomfortable, was able to get offensively there, but get a couple explosive plays. Trevor was able to stay on the field, and they show this is a difficult place to win in front of this sellout Rider crowds.
Well, Hamilton came in as the top team in the East Division at 6-3. The Riders tops in the West at 7-1. At the end of the day, it was decisive who the #1 team in the Canadian Football League is halfway through. Saskatchewan Roughriders. They lead the way at 8-1. Coming up next, part 2 of our CFL on TSN doubleheader as the Montreal Alouettes take on the Lions at BC Place. That's it from Mosaic. Thanks for watching, and have a great night. So long, everybody.